Let's dive in. Assistant Lee just handed out these wooden battle trackers. They have a mini warp array inside. In real danger? Just crush it to instantly bail out. But yeah, doing that means you totally forfeit the match. Miss Lee was seriously stressing out, constantly begging the students to prioritize staying alive over literally everything else. Chill out, Miss Lee. We are totally ready for this. Thanks to Yun bro, he carried us to the lead twice. We grabbed the championship without even breaking a sweat. Our actual main goal here? Finding that legendary soul-cleansing grass. It is so, Yun bro's little sister can awaken a top-tier talent. Remember guys, 3 signal flares means the grass has been found. Honestly, Yun Chen was stunned. His entire squad already knew his secret agenda. Turns out, Nico totally spilled the beans to the team, since the championship was already 100% secured. Because Yun Chen carried them so insanely hard, every single teammate wanted to pitch in and back him up here. Once the quick briefing wrapped up, the group of 20 got immediately warped straight into the massive abandoned city. The absolute second he landed, Yun Chen scanned the area. A complete wasteland. Hard to believe this was once a super busy city. In this insane survival round, every single student spawns randomly. He paused for a second. The plan? Link up with the squad first, then grab the absolute highest ground for better vision. Barely a few steps in, a demon bird jumped him. Boom. One fireball jutsu instantly turned it into crispy fried chicken. The monster got blasted back, but that loud explosion aggroed nearby beasts. They locked straight onto Yun Chen and viciously rushed him. He instantly popped his savage roar skill, sending those weak, low-stat enemies into an absolute state of pure panic. Sure enough, the beasts froze in terror. Yun Chen immediately took that perfect chance to bolt. Zero time to waste on trash mobs. He scaled a high spot, popping Eagle Eye to safely scope out the situation. Suddenly, Yun Chen spotted a massive group of over 10 people. Now watch closely, this is where it gets wild. They weren't one academy. Their uniforms were mismatched. A total mix of rival schools. Bam! 3 bright flares popped off in the sky. 1 flare was just meant to ping your exact location. 2 flares for backup. But 3 flares? That meant the legendary soul-cleansing grass had finally been found. Yun Chen anxiously leaped down from his high perch. 3 flares meant massive trouble. Firing those basically doxes their exact spot, making them sitting ducks for enemies. His teammate definitely knew the crazy risks. Terrified things went totally south. Yun Chen popped Windchaser step, sprinting at absolute full tilt toward those bright signal flares. Right at the signal spot, a massive 3-headed demon vine snake chilled quietly beside the precious soul-cleansing grass. The girl who shot the flare knew there was zero chance to solo that beast. She only risked staying behind because she knew Yun Chen desperately needed that grass. Suddenly, heavy footsteps approached. Pure relief mixed with absolute dread. If it was Yun Chen or her teammates, then great. If it was Scrub Academy enemies, she could barely survive. But peeking out, the horrific scene nearly scared her half to death. Why were there so many guys? She quickly realized this mob wasn't from one school. Every guy had a totally smug smirk. Hey, you little rat, stop hiding. I already caught your scent. Signaling so cockily like that? Only Jiang University would be arrogant enough to completely ignore the survival rankings. We both know she's cornered now. She forced herself to stay calm and bravely stepped right out. Staff raised, she was completely ready to throw down. You know I am Jiang Yu and still dare approach? Yun bro is already en route. Don't wanna die? Beat it. The crowd just cracked up laughing. Sure, Yun Chen was a beast, but they had way too many numbers, and their smug leader was acting insanely cocky. He fully admitted average schools couldn't beat the top 7 in a totally fair fight. But with a massive army like this, zero reason to be afraid. Besides, before the match, 55 average academies formed a huge alliance, totaling over 1,100 students. Their strategy? Completely Zerg rush the top 7 school elites and viciously wipe them all out. Then loot the spoils and split everything. This mob was huge, but the leader claimed hundreds more were currently on the way. Just wait until the army arrives. Forget one little Yun Chen. Even if Jiang Yu's whole squad shows up, we will stomp you. Suddenly, a terrifying noise erupted from behind. The guys completely in the back got viciously blasted away by some absolute terrifying force. You and I knew it. Yun Chen struts in, spear ready, aura off the charts. Who are you planning to stomp? Stick with me here, because we are jumping straight into absolute madness. Seeing Yun Chen, she literally cries tears of joy. We are finally saved. The Academy Alliance guys are completely losing their minds right now. Seeing Yun Chen up close is way more terrifying. That fireball technique he just dropped was pure nightmare fuel. One single strike, and a dozen dudes just vanished. Only their so-called leader is still acting tough, actually thinking their sheer numbers can secure a win. He claims if everyone just spit, he would drown, calling him a trash-tier classless solo player. What are we so scared of? Yun Chen did not even flinch. If these absolute scrubs wanted to flex their massive squad size, he was more than ready to see who wanted to drop first. He slams his spear down, throwing his head back to unleash that massive war cry skill again. And just like before, those basic mob students drop down instantly. The leader is sweating buckets while still yapping at his team to stay strong. Deep down, he is shaking hard. He yells at him to stop acting cocky, claiming some basic warrior skill will not make them run away. Now, watch closely here. He barely finishes talking when bam, Yun Chen is right in his face. What did you say? That killer aura is straight up terrifying. The punk completely loses his mind and sprints away, begging the boss to spare his life. With their head honcho acting like a total coward, the entire alliance crumbles immediately. Every single one of them sprints for their lives. Nobody is dumb enough to fight a monster. Honestly, Chen is a little disappointed. He thought they were actually strong, but they did not even throw a punch, just a bunch of pathetic scrubs. He walks over to calm down his relieved teammate. Thanks for guarding the grass for me. We are all good now. She is so incredibly thankful. Surviving that insane bloodbath is a massive victory in her book right now. The elders watching the stream are dying of laughter. They expected a huge, bloody battle, but Yun Chen wiped the floor with the whole squad, and his weapon did not even get dirty. But a mob of 100 players is a major threat. You do not want that smoke. The academy principals are getting pretty salty about this. They seriously need to nerf this teaming up nonsense next year. It is totally ridiculous. But Vice Principal Zhao from Qingyu is looking incredibly smug. They set up a massive defensive barrier. Not a single outside monster could glitch through it. They have airships patrolling the skies and stealth proctors hiding in the shadows all over the city. It is the ultimate safety net. Meanwhile, Yun Chen is clashing with a three-headed serpent boss. Honestly, he barely breaks a sweat. A few rapid combo strikes send it packing easily. He grabs the rare grass and tells his teammate to launch a flare for the squad. She instantly pops a flare high into the sky, and the rivals spot it immediately. They had this entire master plan to camp the drop zone and ambush whoever showed up first. You and I both knew this was coming. They totally did not expect Yun Chen to beat them there. The squad panics, asking if they have to fight him. Ning totally chickens out. There is no way he is fighting Yun Chen. He just scoffs and runs away. But then, the students realize something is completely off. A guy named Li Jun is suddenly missing. He was literally just standing right there. Where the heck did he sneak off to? But since they only take orders from Ning, they really do not care about him at all. So they all bounce. Meanwhile, the edgy kid Li Jun is creeping inside a busted tower. He mutters that they are all just trash mobs. Once his master spawns, everyone is getting completely wiped out. Pushing open the heavy doors, he walks right up to a super creepy statue. Supreme Master, acknowledge me. I am giving you all my loot, my stats, and my life. He finishes his sentence and literally just plunges a dagger into his own chest. Collapsing in a pool of blood, he triggers a crazy dark magic ritual. His blood flows backward into the statue, and a massive red laser blasts straight into the sky. Black smoke floods the city center. Trust me, you and I are not ready for what happens next. All right, stick with me here. The second those monster mobs touched that stuff, they went absolutely berserk, getting a massive power buff. Up in the sky, the academy elites were chilling in an airship, streaming the exam. But then, out of absolutely nowhere, the live broadcast went completely black. Even the city's massive protective barrier started glitching out hard. While panic set in, someone screamed out, "Forget the screens. Look out the window. Things are going completely insane down there." Yan Fu and the others rushed to the glass. Vice Principal Zhao was absolutely losing his mind. Below them, pure dark world energy was swallowing the entire city whole. Yan Fu panicked. He instantly realized a massive dimensional rift had spawned right inside the city. And probably not just one, either. That specific dark energy, it acts like an insane debuff. It shreds your combat stats and ruins gear durability. Oh, plus it massively buffs the monsters, making them super aggressive. So yeah, no brainer. Those students below were absolutely screwed. Vice Principal Zhao immediately ordered them to crack the barrier so the ship could dive. He pinged the proctors with a spell, shouting to protect the students right away. They could not afford a massive wipeout. Yan Fu was frowning so hard, his eyebrows basically merged into a single line. Now, pay attention here. To the Demon Lord of the Dark World, that Demon Lord essence is the ultimate middle finger. And guess who just happened to be holding that exact loot drop? Yep, Yunchen. With the abandoned city totally locked down by that barrier, Yan Fu was furious. He couldn't just fast travel down there and protect his star student. Meanwhile, Yunchen was literally just chilling, trading banter with his teammate while waiting for the rest of their squad to link up. Suddenly, his instincts flared up. Something felt seriously wrong. Like, pure dark energy wrong. But wait, the principal specifically said high-level priests already cleansed the dark energy from this zone. So why the heck was he picking up that exact same vibe now? Right on cue, Nico and her squad finally showed up. They were super hyped to see Yunchen alive. But before they could even celebrate, this massive pitch-black tornado violently spawned right behind them. Lin Yu and Nico whipped around, totally clueless and terrified. Bro, what even is that thing? Yunchen didn't have to guess twice. He readied his spear and dashed straight forward. That was 100% dark energy. Do not let that junk touch you. Get over here now. Nico's crew totally panicked and sprinted toward him. Honestly, they were still basic noobs with zero actual life or death combat experience. They had only ever heard horror stories about dark energy. You and I both know what happens next. An insane monster wave poured straight out. While the other students stood completely paralyzed by this nightmare, Yunchen charged straight in and immediately started spamming fireball attacks. The gang finally snapped out of it, throwing skills to clap back at the demon beasts. But man, that dark corruption was just way too intense. Even an elite fighter like Nico got blasted back. Her precious gear slipped right from her grip, and her outfit started getting eaten away by the raw corrosion. She sprawled on the ground, with that toxic black smoke getting way too close for comfort. Just as things looked completely hopeless, green vines wrapped around her, violently yanking her back. Yunchen saved Nico's life just in the nick of time. Plus, he was smooth enough to cover her ruined outfit with his very own coat. The surviving squad members finally regrouped together. But now, they faced a straight-up life-or-death situation. Yunchen swapped weapon modes, popping a priest purification skill to fight off that dark aura. Right then, an emergency alert blasted out from the airship above. All students must forfeit and evacuate immediately. Yunchen told his squad to snap their wooden tokens and get the hell out of there right now, because his purification skill was not going to hold out much longer. Everyone listened to Yunchen, crushing their tokens simultaneously to bail out. Only he and Nico were left standing there, and Nico was absolutely freaking out. Why isn't my token working? She panicked hard. She had definitely crushed it with all her strength just a single second ago. Yunchen realized the dark aura must have corroded her token. The teleportation array inside was completely toast. Without a second thought, he handed her his own token. Nico took it, hesitating. Wait, what about you? I have a plan. You go first. That is an order from your captain. Nico's eyes totally welled up. She knew in her current state, staying behind would just burden Yunchen. Okay, please stay safe out here. All right. Nico smashed the token and vanished, leaving Yunchen completely alone on the battlefield. Suddenly, the sound of crisp clapping echoed from the side. It was that absolute weirdo in the red suit. This was actually the first time Yunchen properly faced this guy. The stranger spoke with a mocking tone. What a responsible captain, wasting so much effort for a weak teammate. Yunchen shot him a cold, sharp glare. Even though they had just met, this guy looked vaguely familiar somehow. He was one of the judges from the individual round. And trust me, you and I are about to see exactly why he is here. Stick with me here. The guy waves his hands, claiming he is just secret protection. Elite students need that special care, right? No accidents allowed. He flashes a super shady smirk. Come on, I will take you somewhere completely safe. The dude grabs Yunchen by the shoulder, triggers his space warping magic, and instantly teleports them out of there. Right then, Principal Yi Anfu teleports in, but the place is totally empty. He just figures the kids crushed their escape tokens and bailed, but heavy magical traces linger in the air. He looks around, clearly stressed. Spatial magic? That is absolutely top-tier, heavy-duty stuff. It ignores distance completely and leaves zero tracks. If they warped far away, trying to find them is going to be an absolute nightmare. Meanwhile, the drop zone where Yunchen landed? Absolutely bizarre and creepy. The second he touches down, he knows this is not the abandoned city. It looks like a wasteland chewed up and spit out by dark aura ages ago. This spot screams pure danger. Yunchen goes on maximum alert, because that shady guy in the red suit drops from the sky, diving straight at him. But Yunchen has god-tier reflexes, dodging by a literal hair. The stranger actually looks thrilled. This whole zone has been corrupted for ages. Your senses should be dead right now. How did you even manage to track my sneak attack? He stares at the kid, totally shocked. Oh, Yun Chen had swapped into a completely different combat state, thanks to his Dark Knight talent. All that intense grinding wasn't just for show. Hate to burst your little bubble, buddy, but the absolute darkness is my home turf. He has zero clue what this creep wants. But if he is out for blood, Yun Chen will happily end his miserable life right now. No wonder you are so cocky. That is the raw talent you ripped from the Demon Lord's essence. Now pay attention. Here is the insane power gap. As a level 38 second transfer space mage, this guy looks at Yun Chen and just sees a pathetic ant. The stranger stomps the ground hard, launching himself into the air while instantly triggering two deadly skills, Space Blade and Staffless Casting. Yun Chen barely sees the air bending. Tracking an attack like that is almost impossible. It is literally an invisible strike. But Yun Chen is no pushover. Sensing pure danger, he triggers God Flash and barely cheats death. Boom. His old spot takes a massive hit. A devastating cross-shaped gash just shreds into the solid boulder. One direct hit would have sliced him into 4 meat blocks. The enemy just looks even more intrigued. Oh, what skill is that? It perfectly mimics my space magic. Must be God tier, right? But the psycho is not scared at all. Yun Chen is still low level, and God tier skills burn mana like absolutely crazy. Figuring the kid cannot spam it forever, the mage jumps right back on the offensive. Yun Chen blasts dozens of fireballs, but the attacks phase right through him. The stranger just laughs, completely arrogant. This is true space magic. It literally shreds reality itself. Absolutely nothing can block a hit like this. Just be a good boy and die. Yun Chen grits his teeth under the heavy pressure. The maniac is right. He cannot just spam God Flash. Now he has to rely entirely on the enemy's movements and his God Eye to just barely predict the crazy trajectory of these strikes. But the onslaught is just way too intense. Yun Chen finally takes a brutal hit, his body screaming in absolute pain and feeling heavy as solid lead. Wow, I only landed a single hit. You are actually pretty elite, definitely worthy of being called a strategic reserve talent for the Black Dragon Nation. The psycho honestly praises him, but obviously does not forget to flex his own broken skills. My Space Mage class is the rarest hidden class in existence. Anyone who unlocks it becomes an instant strategic asset to the entire country. To him, Yun Chen's power is just a cheap parlor trick. Boom, Yun Chen gets slammed again, and this impact is way heavier than the last one. He violently coughs up fresh blood, but his eyes are burning with pure, unyielding hatred. He is not ready to quit, but his body totally betrays him, collapsing right into a bloody pool. Seeing him down, the enemy rushes in, giddy with sick excitement. He wants Yun Chen's head for a massive bounty. But you and I know our boy isn't finished yet. Watch closely. The exact second that guy gets close, bam. Yun Chen explodes up and blasts him with a blazing flame fist right in the gut. The dude hacks up blood, screaming like a total baby. You damn brat, you were playing dead. That savage punch sends him flying right backward. His clothes are completely shredded, leaving a literal smoking crater in his stomach. Oh, it is on now. For that, I am going to tear you into pieces. Yun Chen just stares him down, stone-faced. His battered body is already healed up, thanks to his super regeneration. Yun Chen instantly activates his Dark Pagoda talent. He is locked in and ready for a hell of a fight. Oh, I cannot wait. The guy completely loses his mind, screaming about how he is going to rip Yun Chen into 10,000 bloody pieces. But Yun Chen knows this will not be a walk in the park. The enemy's level is just way too high. A flame fist alone will not kill him. Plus, super regeneration has a massive cooldown window. He already burned a charge when he played dead just a second ago. Worse, that bastard space magic completely bypasses distance and raw defense. One direct hit, game over. It is instant death. No chance to block this insane damage. So how do you and I survive this nightmare? Trust me, you'll want to see what's next. Let's dive right into this. He knew playing defense was a death sentence. To survive, he had to go full aggro and speedrun the fight. Yun Chen spammed massive fireballs, but this absolute scumbag blocked every single one. Next, giant vines. But the enemy just warped space to slice them apart. While distracted by that mess, Yun Chen triggered his assassin skill Heart Pierce and attack, but the guy just countered by warping space itself. Yun Chen's blade hit dead air. But right then, the Yun Chen standing in front of him completely vanished. The real Yun Chen dove from the sky, spear first. Classic clone skill play. But the enemy was way sharper than he looked. He had already sniffed out Yun Chen's real mana signature. Sneak attack? Failed. Yun Chen gritted his teeth in pure frustration. He aimed perfectly for the blind spot. Yet somehow, The guy read him like an open book. About to get turned into minced meat, Yun Chen was forced to pop his S-tier invincibility skill. Immune to all damage and crowd control for 3 seconds, the blast knocked the guy back, swearing out loud. He honestly could not believe this brat had so many broken skills. Seizing that tiny window, Yun Chen unleashed an absolute nightmare of a slash. Seeing it coming, the scumbag abused space shift again. Literal teleportation. He instantly warped to another spot, way too close for comfort. The guy was heavy breathing now. Yun Chen almost had him. Seriously, how many powers did this kid have? Why was every single move crazier than the last? While distracted, he felt pure killing intent from behind. Yun Chen had already closed the gap, but the bastard just warped away again. You're probably thinking what I'm thinking. Does this guy have eyes in the back of his head? How is he dodging perfectly every single time? No time to stop and think. Yun Chen fired up his movement technique to chase him down, but missing over and over again was draining his body fast. Finally, the guy arrogantly warped right in front of his face, spamming divine tier abilities. Stamina finally hitting its limit. Seeing Yun Chen gasping for air, the enemy got completely cocky and decided to monologue. Feels a little weird that I can predict your exact location every single time, right? You don't need to explain anything. I already figured it out. Yun Chen wiped the cold sweat off his face. He guessed this guy had planted a sneaky mana tracking mark on him earlier. It was suspicious. This abandoned city was massive. Yun Chen always scanned his surroundings for monsters and spies. Yet this guy tracked him down effortlessly. Right after Nico left, too, but remembering this guy was the referee for his match? The truth clicked. When he won the first solo round, the ref grabbed his wrist. That was exactly when the mark got planted. Without that dirty trick, I would have sliced you to pieces ages ago. Yeah, but that doesn't change the fact that you are about to lose, you arrogant brat. So, what if you figured it out? You cannot even use your divine tier skills anymore. So what makes you think you can still fight me? He charged up a final strike to blow Yun Chen away, but Yun Chen just stared at him like he was completely stupid. You really want to attack? Watch closely, guys. Haven't you noticed what you're stepping on? The enemy looked down in sheer panic. It was a time bomb Yun Chen sneakily dropped during their chase. Damn it. You set me up. Boom. The explosion swallowed him whole. Though, Yun Chen was honestly disappointed the guy was still breathing. If he was a normal, squishy mage, that blast would be a one-way ticket straight to the afterlife. Too bad, this guy was incredibly high level with crazy defense. But hey, Yun Chen already calculated for that exact outcome. He gripped his spear, and the enemy knew exactly what was coming. Panicking, he desperately tried to activate space warp to run away, but suddenly, total paralysis. He could not move a single muscle. Eye of the Night activated. The guy was absolutely sweating bullets now. Never in his wildest dreams did he imagine Yun Chen possessed the legendary bloodline talent of the Dark Knight Empress. Because of the level gap, Eye of the Night only freezes you for 1 second. But 1 second is all I need. Yun Chen hurled the spear with raw fury. It ripped through the air like a bullet, piercing right through his chest. An epic loot pile instantly dropped where he fell. That confirmed it. The scumbag had finally kicked the bucket. Exhausted, Yun Chen collapsed hard onto the dirt. Looking at the shiny loot pile, he felt pretty satisfied. Secretly, he was crossing his fingers for a beginner space mage skill. He sat there on the ground, just panting heavy for a solid minute. He literally emptied out his entire bag of tricks just to survive. That mage was dangerously strong. And the worst part? Yun Chen still had no clue where he was, or what that guy's actual goal was. The dude marked him way back at the tournament, and went through insane trouble to warp him to this random wasteland. This screamed calculated conspiracy from miles away. But the more he thought about it, the more his head pounded. So, loot checking time first. Sure enough, the drop included a space mage skill book. Too bad, it was high-level tier stuff, completely useless to him right now. After digging through the pile, he finally found a basic beginner skill called Space Tear. Yun Chen was stoked. And honestly, so am I. Even if the spatial rift is tiny, this skill is incredibly solid. Stick with me here, because things are heating up. Once his talent upgrades, skill quality shoots up anyway. He bags the sweet loot instantly. The rest of the gear, absolute top tier. But sadly, Yun Chen's level is way too low to actually equip any of it. There were tons of high-value materials though, so he swiped it all. The only thing left? This weird black feather. Yun Chen had absolutely zero clue what it was. No stats. Even his appraisal skill could not pull up a single drop of info. While staring at this weird item, a massive tornado suddenly whipped up right next to him. He totally thought an enemy was ambushing him. Luckily, it was just his teacher, Yi Anfu, stepping out of the wind. Seeing Yun Chen still in one piece, the old man let out a massive sigh. I cannot believe the academy had a mole. I got your back, kid. But the second Yi Anfu finished talking, he spotted the mangled, bloody mess on the ground that Yun Chen had completely skewered. He was absolutely shook. That was a level 38 space mage. How the hell did a rookie like Yun Chen clap a veteran opponent? He got careless and didn't dodge. Teach, Yun Chen said, playing it totally cool. He handed the black feather over for Yi Anfu to check. The old man recognized it instantly. It was the symbol of the Advent organization. Now, pay close attention to this part. Yi Anfu muttered, I knew it. Meanwhile, Yun Chen was totally lost, never hearing of this Advent crew. Yi Anfu broke it down fast. They are human traitors who pledge absolute loyalty to the dark world. They despise our world and worship the darkness, constantly trying to trigger the literal apocalypse. The crazy chaos during this competition? Totally their fault. That Qingdao University student had already joined the Advent ranks. He sacrificed his own life to rip open a dimensional rift that let dark aura leak in, ruining the tournament and causing massive, devastating casualties. Yun Chen immediately thought back to what that guy threatened earlier. No wonder he wanted Yun Chen's head for a bounty. Having that demon lord essence painted a massive dark world target right on his back. But since the big bosses cannot easily cross over dimensions just yet, they had to send minions for the dirty work. Yi Anfu whipped up another tornado to get Yun Chen home. While Yun Chen was fighting for his life, the barrier around the abandoned city dropped. A ton of absolute powerhouses from different academies showed up. The situation flipped in an instant. Those frenzied monsters hunting the students were getting completely wiped out. In just a few short hours, the whole city was fully cleared. But even with all that insane drama, the tournament needed a final result. Organizers totally scrapped the survival round scores. Instead, they just combined the individual and team scores to finalize the rankings. No surprise there. Jiangnan University easily took the championship. But after everything that went down, and the heavy survival round losses, nobody felt like celebrating. The students took devastating casualties. And this Advent organization is getting way bolder. It made everyone realize one brutal fact. Peace is probably coming to an end. You and I both know the fallout is coming. The school heads gathered at Qingdao University, led by Chu Tianhe from the Defense Ministry. In the survival round alone, 328 died, and 296 were injured. These were the absolute elite, so the blow was devastating. Qingdao's vice principal Chu was so furious his hair practically stood on end. He never expected that among his very own precious students, an Advent organization member was hiding right there, in plain sight. Luckily, that dark sacrifice only ripped open a tiny rift. If the rift was bigger, who knows how catastrophic it would have been. Didn't we wipe those psychos out 30 years ago? How are they back? Yi Anfu nursed a massive headache over this. It is probably remnants that just regrouped and grew in the shadows. 30 years is plenty of time to build strength. But what worried him most was their true goal. The Advent organization went all out this time, and there is no way it was just for Yun Chen. Suddenly, another school head mentioned something really weird they noticed during the chaos. I fought a third awakening warrior. When cornered, he suddenly busted out a high-level mage skill. That statement made the whole room explode. A warrior using mage skills? Was it another jobless class freelancer? Everyone immediately shot that ridiculous idea down. That guy used a high-level skill, and jobless classes are stuck with basics. Does the legendary duel class actually exist? Chu Tianhe, who had been completely silent, finally spoke up. This was top-secret Defense Ministry intel, but he figured he could not hide it anymore. Duel classes are actually real. The key to getting one is something very similar to the Demon Lord essence. For example, if you want God of War skills, you absolutely need the God of War essence. The main ingredient is the heart of a fourth awakening God of War. One heart makes 5 shards. That's where we end it. Trust me, it gets crazier. Using this thing gives massive stat and skill points with every single level up. Plus, there is a huge chance to unlock a literal God of War talent. Stick with me here. If absorbed perfectly, you gain the God of War's origin power and become an ultra-rare dual-class user. Wait, isn't that way stronger than the Demon Lord essence? Old Man Shu asks in a total panic. Well, obviously. Ye Yanfu just lets out this heavy sigh. He hates admitting it, but powers from the dark world are always a massive step above the righteous ones. So yeah, no shocker they have crazy secret techniques. But what actually terrifies Chu Tian is this exact thought. If the enemy already has the God of War essence, what about the Mage God, Battle God, or Spear God? If they start stacking these essences, Are we looking at triple, quad, or even pentaclass absolute monsters? Plus, he bets that dual class guy was sent as bait. The entire point was just to prove to the world that dual classes actually exist. Having a second class doesn't just double your raw power. The boost is way beyond that. Now pay attention, because this is terrifying. When the big families find out, will humanity literally tear itself apart for that power? If that happens, we lose before the dark world even attacks. That is exactly why the Ministry of Defense locked this down as top secret. If word actually leaked, even the absolute strongest heroes on our side might turn completely traitor. At the end of the day, Chu Tian has to make the tough call. Our entire side needs to be on max alert. They have to stay incredibly sharp and focus everything on wiping out the Descent organization. Meanwhile, back at Jiang University, Principal Yi is meeting up with the squad after their championship win. Too bad, they all look totally drained, basically resembling soggy crackers. Ye Yunfu knows these kids have heavy stuff on their minds, so he tries cheering them up. Time to whip out those juicy rewards he prepped beforehand. Everyone who fought gets 3,000 credit points, an A- rank skill book, and 5 million in straight cash. Since Yun Chen was the absolute MVP, Principal Yi finally brings out that rare gear he promised. The flash dagger hidden away for actual years. The literal second Yun Chen grips it, his eyes absolutely light up. This gear is insanely rare. Just judging by the crazy quality, Yun Chen has never seen anything quite like this. Principal Ye Yanfu explains, it is completely one of a kind, forged from super special materials, which makes the quality absurdly rare. The main ingredient for this flash dagger? A super rare mineral straight from the rift plains. It is insanely hard, basically indestructible, and sharp enough to rival any diamond-ranked blade. Plus, the stats are totally unique, mainly because dark energy literally cannot scratch it. Assistant Li watches from the sidelines, unable to hide his complete shock. Principal Yi kept that exact dagger hidden for 30 solid years, only ever dragging it out to flex once in a while. Yet right now, he just hands it straight over to Yun Chen without blinking twice. I know what you're thinking. That is some massive pressure. Plus, Yun Chen finally grabs those extra rewards the Academy promised earlier. He instantly drops 1,000 credits and an A- rank natural treasure on the girl who helped him track down the soul-fixing grass. The girl panics hard, telling brother Yun she was just grateful to tag along and get a basic reward. He absolutely did not need to give her this much, but Yun Chen stubbornly insists on giving her the loot. Boom. Reward drama officially handled. Anyway, Assistant Li also needs to have a serious chat with Yun Chen about his little sister, Yun Tang. Principal Yi agreed to set up a top-tier school for Yun Tang. Yun Chen is beyond grateful, because Jiang University isn't just incredible for education. It is an absolute fortress. It just so happens that the day after tomorrow is the weekend, so he plans to head straight back to Dongyun to pick her up. But Assistant Li smiles the good news isn't over just yet. That phantom breaker weapon Yun Chen wields? It was actually forged by a master blacksmith right inside the academy. Yun Chen flexed so hard during the tournament that the blacksmith got mega hyped. Now, the master wants to design a custom multiform weapon specifically for our jobless drifter. Yun Chen is so pumped his eyes basically turn into happy little slits. Obviously, no one turns down a once-in-a-lifetime shot like that. Later that same night, Yun Chen heads back to his dorm room. He barely chills for a second before the overthinking kicks in. Yun Chen knows the Descent organization has a giant target painted on his back. Who knows what kind of psycho enemies he will run into next? He seriously needs to get stronger, fast. He basically already figured out the dagger Principal Yi handed over. Next up, checking those sweet quest rewards the system just dropped. Exactly like last time, it is an S-rank skill simply called Sure Hit. When activated, Yun Chen's next strike ignores dodges and environment, guarantees a direct hit, and deals 300% damage. Yun Chen is absolutely floored. This skill is too savage. If he had this while fighting that annoying space mage, one shot would have instantly dusted him. But right then, a sudden knock hits his door. It is the maid, Xiao Yu, sent over by Xia Qingcheng. Since Yun Chen crushed the exam, she sent a crazy gift, the Nether Demon Flame Seed. Trust me, you're going to want to see what he does with this next. Alright, stick with me here. We're kicking things off with a rare Dark World drop, snagged right off a dead demon lord. Sucking this thing dry spikes your fire affinity and sends your fire skills straight through the roof. A perfect merge means absolute fire immunity. Yun Chen snatches it up instantly. You gotta admit, Xia Qingcheng really spoils her favorite disciple, but Xiao Yu panics, rushing to warn him not to just swallow it raw. He needs ice herbs to balance it out. Sure, it nerfs the power a little, but it stops his organs from melting. Too late. Before she even finishes, this madman gulps the flame seed straight down. Instantly, his whole body starts violently glitching out. Absolute panic mode. The maid is losing her mind. At this rate, the demon fire will literally blow him to pieces. Spit it out, but no dice. That pitch-black flame has already hijacked his entire nervous system. Right as she's about to pass out from stress, snap. His insane self-recovery skill kicks in, dragging him right back from the brink. He drops down, gasping for air. He survived, yeah, but that internal burning felt exactly like dying. What kind of insane flame is this? You and I both thought he was dead, right? But Yunchen just plays it cool, like absolutely nothing happened. He even flexes his brand new dark fire skill for her. Straight from the dark realm, this flame refuses to go out. It literally burns the enemy's soul. Normal fire doesn't even compare to this beast. The poor maid is just taking mental damage from the constant surprises. She can't believe Yunchen tanked the nether flames raw, needing absolutely zero ice herbs, and looking at his aura, it is a 100% perfect absorption. Truly, Xiaoqing Cheng's favorite student. With the crisis averted, Xiao Yu finally takes her leave. Next morning, Assistant Li drags our boy to a legendary master blacksmith's workshop. Enter the old master, Mujiashu. The second he spots Yunchen, the old man is grinning like a maniac. He watched the kids' fights on repeat. That phantom breaker? His proudest creation. Turns out, he has been obsessed with multi-form weapons his whole life. But everyone always mocked him for being totally unrealistic. Because honestly, who actually wields a sword and a staff at the exact same time? Yunchen was the ultimate vindication. He finally proved the old man's crazy theories were actually pure genius. But he also knows a basic form isn't enough for this kid. So he opens up his personal vault, his entire life's work, free reign to grab whatever he wants. And it's all top-tier loot. Yunchen scans the gear, does the math, and immediately locks eyes with one specific beauty, the Phantom Soul Shocker. Think of it as the bigger, badder cousin to the weapon he is already rocking. First form, a heavy sniper rifle. Second form, a classic combat staff. Mujiashu watches him closely. Now watch this. You're probably thinking, a sniper in this fantasy world? Best believe it, and the master is totally hyped. He practically begs him to pull it out. Right now, with his current gear, Yunchen's biggest weakness is a total lack of long-range firepower. Throwing his sword, using telekinesis, uses too much energy, so a gun is the ultimate fix. Plus, Mujiashu is absolutely obsessed with this particular design. Lethal at a distance, deadly up close. He pulls the trigger mechanism to show off both combat modes to our boy. Yunchen stares at it for a second. But honestly, just two forms feels a little bit basic to him. He wants a third mode, dual hunting spears. The master blacksmith's eyes practically shoot sparks. It's an absolutely insane idea, but mechanically, it's completely doable. But let's make it even spicier. He requests an asymmetrical build, one long spear, one short spear. It's like the crazy old man just found his soulmate. The two weapon nerds immediately start geeking out over the custom modifications. Assistant Li is just chilling on the sidelines when suddenly her phone lights up. We don't see the text, but the sheer horror dropping over her face tells us everything. This is extremely bad news. Back at the bench, the ultimate brainstorm wraps up. The old man hands over the Phantom Soul so Yunchen can start getting a feel for it. As for the custom upgrades, he just needs 1 week to hammer out the fresh blueprints. He even generously announces that once it is done, he is dropping a massive 70% discount. The dude looks like he just struck pure gold. All those saved points can go straight to funding Yuntang's treatment later. But suddenly, Assistant Li sprints over, completely out of breath, carrying the worst news possible. Massive dimensional rifts are violently ripping open across the entire Black Dragon Nation. Dark energy monsters have invaded the streets, and a full-blown beast tide is literally minutes away from forming right now. The worst part? The targets are all helpless, small towns with zero defenses against a tide. And East Cloud City? Yeah, Yunchen's peaceful little hometown. It is sitting right in the crosshairs. The blood drains from Yunchen's face immediately. Oh man, his helpless little sister is still trapped back there in their hometown. Cut to the teleportation hall. Old man Yi Anfu is scrambling, deploying heavy-hitter fighters for backup. He instantly spots Assistant Li and Yunchen rushing in. Trust me, you and I aren't ready for the absolute bloodbath. Coming next, let's dive right in. Instructor Yi Anfu is screaming for Yun. The pros are deploying. What is a rookie doing trying to join this deadly fight? Get your butt back to class. The man's rage These like it could instantly wipe out the entire Jiangnan region. But Yun Chen refuses to back down. If he cannot even protect his own blood, then what is the actual point of getting stronger? Assistant Li steps up to vouch for him. She brought Yun Chen from East Cloud City, so she will take full responsibility for his safety today. Yi Anfu lets out a long, heavy sigh. He knows stopping this kid is impossible, so he just tells him to watch his back. Green light given, Yun Chen instantly leaps onto the teleportation platform. He aggressively warps straight to the Defense Corps station, right on the absolute edge of East Cloud City. Fan Jum. What is the status? Fan Jum is the local defense captain, a level 35, second advancement warrior. Seeing Assistant Li, he scrambles over to report the nightmare. A massive beast tide is currently smashing against the city gates. The soldiers are fighting hard, but East Cloud has not seen a beast tide in almost 20 years. Most troops simply cannot handle this chaos. Assistant Li is a third advancement powerhouse. Her showing up is literally a saving grace for East Cloud right now. Yun Chen, hurry, follow me. Assistant Li turns around, planning to escort him safely to the front gates, but the kid has already vanished, like an absolute ghost. Panicking, Assistant Li scrambles wildly to chase after him. Outside the gates, total absolute carnage. Monsters are flooding in like a storm while soldiers fight their hearts out, refusing to break. But because of the long peace, all the real elites got moved to the front lines elsewhere. The strength of these remaining guys versus the beast tide, it is basically like a tiny mosquito trying to bite through solid stainless steel. Now, watch closely just as the soldiers think they are done for. A massive fireball and a wild tornado suddenly erupt. They merge together into a flame storm that looks completely badass. An entire horde of monsters gets blasted away in seconds, completely wiped out. The surviving soldiers look at each other, totally stunned. They think some high-level mage just dropped in. But hold up, what kind of elite mage uses Eye of the Storm? That is literally a beginner witch skill. Yun Chen comes charging in on his epic mount. Seeing the battlefield, he finally exhales. Looks like the beast tide is paused. The soldiers' jaws literally drop. Just looking at that mount is proof enough that its master is an absolute powerhouse. Yun Chen hops down and gives a rapid intro. Jiangnan University freshman Yun Chen, officially reporting for combat support. More backup is finally coming. Hearing that name, the soldiers freeze. Then it clicks. This is their hometown's legendary top scorer. They are bursting with pride, showering him with massive praise. But Yun Chen has zero time for this empty fanboying. He cuts right to the chase. Has anyone from the Descent organization shown their faces yet? But the soldiers have not seen anyone, just the monster swarm. Yun Chen knits his brows, sensing something very wrong. I know exactly what you are thinking. If those scumbags are not here at the gates, they sneaked inside. Before he can figure out their target, Yun Tong calls. Obviously, Yun Chen is relieved as hell to hear his sister. Turns out, because of the invasion alarm, the teachers rushed Yun Tang and the other students into the school safe room. Yun Chen exhales, thanking God she is safe. But her very next words make his nerves snap completely tight again. Weird strangers just arrived outside. They are dressed incredibly weird. They definitely are not teachers, and she has zero clue who they actually are. Yun Chen does not waste a single millisecond. He bolts straight toward the high school. Do not open that door. I am coming right now. Meanwhile, over at number 3 high school, those mysterious strangers have already reached the target. To these elite killers, this so-called safe room is basically a wet cardboard box. And yep, their actual target is Yun Tang. Since assassinating Yun Chen at the university is too risky, they switch targets to his sister, the ultimate hostage, to break him. The leader is getting super hyped just thinking about his massive bounty, the legendary war god essence. He drags a massive blade and spams his skill explosive slash. The heavy door shatters instantly, sending concrete dust flying everywhere. The trapped students inside are shaking like absolutely terrified lambs. The black-robed goons swagger in and scan the room. They identify Yun Tang immediately and march straight for her. Her homeroom teacher bravely rushes them with a dagger, but she is outclassed. A single flame break sends her flying into the wall. You really cannot blame her, though. She is just a level 23, first advancement assassin. These guys in black are second advancement or higher. The power gap is absolutely insane, and they are not looking to waste time. Grab Yun Tang, then we teleport out immediately. The leader, still dragging that massive blade, steps right up to her. Yun Tang trembles, crying out for her big brother to save her. Trust me, you are going to want to see what happens next. Alright, let's dive into this. Yun Chen is nowhere to be seen, but his weapon, already on the field. Boom. The thug threatening his sister gets instantly skewered like a barbecue kebab. The rest of them? Absolutely terrified, turning pure white. One look at the demon breaker, and they realize he is here. But these idiots actually brought a plan. They studied his signature launch attack, figuring out exactly how he usually calls his heavy weapon back. They set up a counter to lock his gear down. Seeing the massive blade stuck in the dirt, one of the guys in black decides to get a little too greedy. An 8-star tier weapon, absolute legendary loot. He claims it for himself. Yeah, right. Before his dirty hands even brush the hilt, he gets stomped straight into the dirt. Yun Chen steps in, eyes full of pure murder, zero hesitation. He triggers a fighter class rush strike, sending the fool straight to the afterlife. Only 2 remain. Next up, he chucks the blink dagger Principal Ye gifted him. Thinking it is just basic tier gear, these 2 completely brush it off. Massive mistake. That thing is a genuine relic. A single flash, and another thug drops before anyone can process it. He instantly pulls his sister close, checking if she is hurt. She says she is fine but points right past his shoulder. The final survivor is making a mad dash for his life. In literally seconds, Yun Chen just deleted 3 trained killers. This raw power, completely unnatural. Before this, everyone assumed Principal Ya Anfu was the one who crushed that space mage. But seeing this massacre firsthand, yeah, it is crystal clear who the real monster was that night. Now pay attention here. Yun Chen is completely chilled out, just comforting his sister, promising that Runner isn't getting away. A split second later, he summons fresh gear and instantly shifts it into his heavy sniper rifle. He lines up the shot and fires. Zero hesitation. The bullet, packed with absolutely insane magic output, blasts clean through the final target. Dusting off his hands, he stands tall. A flawless, beautiful quad kill. That insane flex leaves her friends completely stunned. Bro basically just gained a loyal squad of fangirls without even trying. Right on cue, Assistant Lee catches up. She immediately starts yelling at him for leaving his post. But once she spots the scattered bodies, she realizes exactly what went down. Every single one of these thugs, second awakening experts. This kid is way too overpowered. She sighs, knowing that carrying the Demon Lord's essence has basically painted a massive target on his back. Leaving his sister behind isn't an option anymore. Lee heads straight back to Jiangyu, reporting the whole crazy mess to Principal Ye. Whatever the Descent Organization's endgame actually is, one thing is totally clear: they are absolutely hunting Yun Chen down. Now, Lee honestly wonders if that essence from Xiaqing Chang is a literal cheat code or a straight-up death sentence. Yi and Fu thoughtfully strokes his beard. He knows the item is just the match that lit the powder keg. The light versus dark war has raged for ages. But since our main guy is a once-in-a-generation genius fighting for the good side, obviously those dark factions want him wiped off the map. Now, I know what you're thinking. Are they just playing defense? No way. The Academy's just formed elite demon hunting squads to strike back hard. Perfect chance to hit back and let students grind some serious levels. Jiang Yu's top student roster is heading straight to the war zone with their instructors. And as for his sister, Yi Anfu handled her situation flawlessly. In exactly 2 days, she gets to enroll at an elite prep school tied to Jiang Yu. With her protection completely locked down, that massive burden is finally off his chest. Back at the academy, he takes her on a grand dorm tour. She is absolutely losing her mind. Growing up dead broke, stepping into this kind of insane luxury is like a whole different universe. She even snags his rare flower demon, tossing it around like it is just a plushie. Her schooling is completely handled, but he is still scheming about how to guarantee she actually has the raw talent required for such a high-level affiliated academy. With that in mind, the interrogation begins. Looking at the timeline, she should have awakened her class by now, right? She just drops a super heavy sigh in response. Her school was scheduled for the awakening rituals this week, but that massive beast tide completely derailed everything in the city. Without hesitating, he tosses her a high-tier activation potion. It was crafted straight from that rare soul-stabilizing grass he fought tooth and nail for last time. Staring at the vial, she is trembling with hype. She knows this stuff is so absurdly expensive that even elite guild kids can't buy it. She actually suggests selling it for cash. Bro is instantly triggered. He risked his life for this epic loot, and she wants to flip it for gold? Unbelievable. He aggressively tells her to just chug it. Back in the day, her baseline genetic potential actually tested way higher than his. So what happens next? Trust me, you're going to want to see the insane talent she unlocks after chugging this down in one go. Alright, stick with me. You and I are about to see an awakening that breaks every rule. Normally, even a cooking skill makes you want to chop vegetables instantly. He asked if she felt anything weird. She felt a bit strange, unable to explain it. But to prove she drank the potion, she shoved the empty vial right into his face. He froze in shock. Not because the vial was empty, but because her movement speed was absolutely unreal. Did she unlock an agility skill? He instantly crushed that theory. If it was just basic super speed, his eyes could have easily tracked her. After all, she was literally only level 5. 1 single second ago, she was standing near the flower demon over 3 meters away. Next blink, bam, right up in his face. He instantly knew it wasn't a teleportation skill, leaving only one absolutely insane possibility. He urgently asked if she felt anything strange while running over. Nope, she just walked normally. She thought he was the one acting completely crazy right now. She claimed he was staring at the flower instead of her. Bingo. His crazy theory was right on the money. She didn't just run fast. She literally skipped the actual time it took to walk toward him. He only saw the final result, totally missing the movement itself. Now pay attention, because you and I are looking at a time-based talent that is way rarer than space skills, making him absolutely ecstatic. Think about it. A space mage is a genius, but a time mage, basically a walking nuclear weapon, ready to shake the world. No hesitation. He whipped out his phone and called Assistant Lee. They instantly rushed her to the Jiangnan University awakening room. Director Ye and Fu arrived immediately. Yun Chen played it super cool, telling Mr. Ye to chill out. He joked it was just a talent check, so there was zero need to make a massive scene. But the second he said that, those two seniors chewed him out. They screamed that he knew nothing, because a time element was ridiculously, unbelievably rare. Nothing like this had ever appeared in Jiangnan history. They asked if he even grasped how legendary this truly was. He thought he might literally drown in their furious yelling, but suddenly, both of their wide eyes locked dead onto his sister. She really did it. An S+ rank talent. Time flow. By just touching a target, she could accelerate or completely freeze their personal time. Director Ye was so hyped his hair literally stood up. He ordered Lee to lock everything down instantly, bump her straight from the normal class to elite status. Have the vice principal of the Mage God personally step in as her tutor, and most importantly, keep this locked down. Top secret clearance. Under those heavy orders, Assistant Lee didn't dare waste a single heartbeat. Director Ye couldn't stop grinning from ear to ear. He told Yun Chen they hit the absolute jackpot with a pure time element. He went straight to contact the Ministry of Defense. Then he instantly teleported away, leaving only the siblings behind in the room. She was standing there totally clueless, and while Yun Chen was jumping with joy inside, he couldn't quite explain the massive stakes yet. He just warned her to keep her mouth totally shut. If word leaked, the Descent organization would definitely hunt them down and wipe them out. Honestly, those villains were already playing dirty, and just waiting around meant certain death. I know what you're thinking. Run and hide? Nope. We're going on the attack. Yun Chen decided to completely strike first. Zero time to waste. He marched straight into the Jiangnan University dungeon hall, stepping up to the counter to loudly request elite dungeon access. He wanted ranges level 21 to 30. Nightmare difficulty. He demanded every single one. The students on campus were grinding dungeons nonstop lately. With a massive war heating up, everyone was pushing their limits just to stay alive. A couple of sophomores tried to grab a room, but they got hit with some terrible news. Every single nightmare dungeon from level 21 to 30 was totally booked by one guy. And worse, he was completely shattering every clear speed record. Absolute madness. Seriously, what kind of family raised a monster like that? Who else could it possibly be except Yun Chen? He was farming like an absolute maniac, dropping a brand new record in the dwarf underground palace. The notification chimed, and the whole hall lost their minds. Holy crap. He shattered 4 massive records just this morning. That is brother Yun for you. An absolute unit. Look at him go. Is he seriously diving in for another round? You bet he was. He didn't even pause to catch his breath. He threw himself straight into the next dungeon. Out of everyone in the entire university, only he had the guts to grind this insanely hard. This time, he plunged right into the graveyard lands on nightmare difficulty. The atmosphere in there was dark, heavy, and creepy as hell. Monsters were everywhere, from bleached skeletons to rotting zombies. He just scanned the terrifying area with a cold, deadly glare. Since it was mostly undead, fire and light skills would deal the most damage. Perfect chance for him to test out his brand new Nether Demon Flame. This energy was way nastier than your basic fire element. He could shape it however he wanted, and it literally burned right through the soul. With a flick of his wrist, the blue flame in his palm erupted in size. He instantly morphed that raw heat into 2 massive, roaring dragons. Trust me, You and I just watched peak dominance. Undead instantly incinerated. Nightmare cleared in a heartbeat. All right, you and I are about to see Yun Chen completely snap. He charged straight into the next one. Back outside, his broken records just kept spamming the main screen. Everyone else? Completely speechless. How many runs could one guy actually survive? Even Nico was shaking like a leaf. What is he planning? Things just got way too serious. Assistant Lee instantly sprinted to inform Principal Ye. Soon, students spotted Yun Chen dragging himself back to the dorms. A regular student barely survives one daily dungeon, 2 if they have backup. But Yun Chen? This absolute beast was soloing 4 every single day. He was literally playing a death game. Yi Anfu frowned. Leveling up is great, but he had an awful feeling about this. Before he could track down the kid for a lecture, Yun Chen just casually knocked on his door. One glance at his face, and Yi Anfu instantly knew trouble was brewing. Yun Chen just flashed a card. Principal Ye, I am joining the demon hunting squad. He said it so casually, the poor guy nearly passed out. You crazy punk. That squad is strictly for 3rd years and up. Even an elite sophomore struggles to survive there, and you are just a freshman. Even if I agreed, Xia Qingcheng never would. He was practically screaming now, right in his face, too. Well, about that. Yun Chen smirked awkwardly and just tapped the mystery card. My master already agreed. Yi Anfu checked it. Yep, Xia Qingcheng's exact handwriting. Old Ye. Approve this right now, or I am visiting you. P.S. Put him in Kathy's squad. Yi Anfu was speechless with rage. Like teacher, like student. Both are absolute reckless monsters. Knowing the old man was stressed, Yun Chen stepped up. He told the principal to cast an appraisal spell. Now watch this closely, because his stats are insane. Yun Chen hit level 26, with every base stat hitting 300. His skills? Nothing below B rank. With his ultimate move hitting S+. He also packed 2 special skills, Divine Point and Eye of the Night. Honestly, his sheer talent alone crushed everyone else. Perfectly balanced stats. Yi Anfu rubbed his temples. He knew he could not stop this crazy kid anymore. He sighed heavily. Fine. If you are that confident, then go for it. Yun Chen walked out feeling like a boss. Once gone, Assistant Lee and the principal chatted. Li Yage was stressing because the Descent organization was hunting him. But Yi Anfu totally understood the kid's plan. He figured the kid wanted to hunt them first before they could strike. Whatever works. If his master chose Kathy's squad, she had a plan. Meanwhile, in Chongqing Town, Kathy's squad was absolutely fuming. They completely saw freshman Yun Chen as dead weight. Plus, he was literally a classless nobody to them. National champ or not, they thought he just beat some noobs. Some even called him a spoiled rich nepo baby. Others assumed he was just a total coward sneaking in to leech free squad credits. Kathy rubbed her head. Watching her team's morale completely hit rock bottom like this, she could not understand Xia Qingcheng's master plan. Yes, Yun Chen is strong, but he already had enough resources. Let's pause here. Why risk his neck? She also heard about the Dong Yun beasthide. Because of that, she was seriously worried this kid would completely lose his cool during combat. While she zoned out, he finally arrived. Miss Kathy, sorry I am late. Squad 7's final member was here. Kathy announced him loudly. Yun Chen approached, hearing plenty of their trash talk. Yo, the credit leecher is finally here. But he ignored them, because the system just dropped a new mission. The objective? Secure the #1 contribution rank inside the elite demon hunting squad. The loot? A limit break stone and cross wreath herb. Yun Chen sighed. Too easy. No new skills or talents. But hey, not bad. The herb goes to Yun Tang, and that stone will seriously upgrade his gear quality. With Yun Chen officially on board, Kathy immediately briefed their next move. Lately, the Descent organization was using monsters to absolutely wreck small cities in the illusory Dragon Nation, targeting middle school kids, too. That tactic is just straight up scummy and totally unforgivable. Local defense intel just reported a shady group camping out in an abandoned warehouse over at the lakeside dock. The investigation strongly points to them being psycho-cultists from the Descent organization. You and I know what comes next. Total wipeout. Kathy led her fired-up squad toward the lake. Let's dive into this absolute bloodbath. She popped her natural perception skill and spotted 28 targets inside the warehouse. Dark auras everywhere. Definitely Descent cultists. Kathy scanned their power levels too. Mostly second-class fodder. Just one heavy hitter who is probably a third-class officer. But her squad? Not scared at all. Actually, they were hyped. These are Jiang University elites. To them, that mob in the warehouse was nothing but a bunch of free walking credits. Confident? Then go wild. The second Kathy gave the green light, These students bolted toward the warehouse like wild dogs. The first guy unleashed exploding slash, completely blowing the warehouse roof off in one single hit. The cultists looked up, totally clueless, only to see 10 crazy kids dropping from the sky, charging in like absolute maniacs. Different classes, different skills. But right now, they all shared one goal: slashing and tearing through the enemy like crazy. The low-level cultists were literally getting their faces smashed. Panicking, they scrambled to find their third-class officer. "Bishop, we are under attack. There are so many of them, we cannot even count them. Shouldn't we fall back?" But that third-class leader was no pushover. Just like Kathy, he instantly read their auras. Only 10 attackers, mostly second class. Wipe them all out. Now pay close attention, the tables turn right here. Once the cultists realized the real situation, their swagger instantly came back. At first, they were terrified, thinking a massive army was raiding them. But after seeing the students' actual power levels, they got incredibly cocky. 2 Jiang University students charged together. One popped Violet Flame Flash, the other dropped Earth Splitter Slash directly on the enemy shoulders. But that cultist? He just laughed in their faces. He turned his entire body into elemental ice, taking 0 damage. A pure water element mage. The students immediately started sweating bullets. Damn it! You are so incredibly strong. Why betray humanity? Compared to the Supreme Lord, what are tiny humans worth? The mage went berserk, and those students instantly started losing ground. They needed to bail right now. But their hands and weapons were completely frozen, stuck to his body. They could not break free. Suddenly, boom! A bullet came flying out of nowhere, tearing straight through that mage. The students looked over. It was Yun Chen. Absolute shock. This kid just dropped a second-class mage with one shot. What is even crazier? That bullet pierced straight through an invincible elemental body. Pure insanity. While they were freaking out, Yun Chen was literally having a blast. His new sure hit skill paired with a sniper? Broken. He aimed for the leg, but the bullet hit the chest anyway, completely ignoring all the enemy defensive buffs. Yun Chen sped up his reload. There were still tons of enemies hiding down below. Perfect target practice. He stacked up a bunch of effects, and every single bullet he fired blew out an opponent heart. You and I know they were hiding in pure blind spots, right? They panicked, wondering how they kept getting sniped. Only Yun Chen knew the truth. Meanwhile, the other elites were just staring wide-eyed at his absolute masterclass in sniping. He had not missed a single shot. What kind of freaky demonic skill was that? Seeing things go south, the third-class leader desperately ordered them to kill the enemy sniper first. Instantly, 10 cultists rushed Yun Chen all at once. "You shameless bastard! Daring to sneak attack us from behind? Die!" The students finally snapped out of their daze. Seeing the enemy mobbing Yun Chen, they desperately rushed over to help him. But facing 10 second-class killers, Yun Chen did not even flinch. The weapon in his hand shifted, transforming straight into a sword. "Oh, you guys want to play melee? Let's dance." Yun Chen gripped his blade and charged right back confidently. Everywhere he stepped, his sharp blade greeted enemies with a brutal slash. Surrounded by cultists, yet he was completely dominating the battlefield. The other 9 students did not even have time to back him up. They just stood there looking dumbfounded, eyes popping out of their skulls. Oh my god, am I hallucinating right now? He is fighting off all those dark cultists by himself. Then it finally clicked. Yun Chen was not some freeloader trying to leech credits. It was blatantly obvious this guy was solo carrying the entire squad. Amidst screaming blue flames that sounded like ghosts, Yun Chen calmly walked out. Surrounded by raging green fire, Old Man Zhu gasped. "That is nether fire, only found in the dark world. How the hell does a level 30 brat have that?" And here is where we leave it. The old man stared at his back, watching that creepy aura, realizing something absolutely huge. But the kid was way too busy throwing hands to care, leaving the old guy muttering to himself like a complete idiot. "I remember it now. Stick with me here. We are about to watch Yun Chen, the jobless kid who absorbed Demon Lord Marrow, face off against Old Man Zhu's arrogant sneer. The original mission? Completely forgotten. Zhu only wants the bounty on this kid's head. In a flash, he turns into a pure black shadow and lunges. That reward money was just too tempting. But out of nowhere, a bright green rope shoots across the screen like a striking viper. It snaps right around Old Man Zhu's leg, locking him completely in midair. And the one holding the leash? That is Kathy, a third advancement heavy hitter from Advent. She smiles. "Your fight is with me." Zhu whips his head back, his voice shaking with absolute terror as he realizes they are doomed. Meanwhile, Yun Chen just stands there, spear ready. Total silence. He stands dead center in the battlefield, completely surrounded by his brutal trophies, the lifeless bodies of every single enemy. The crowd is completely stunned. Unreal strength. He just wiped out 70% of those dark cultists solo, and those were second advancement veterans. Kathy's team whispers in shock. Can only a third advancement powerhouse actually stop him? Another member snaps them back to reality. Are you crazy? Teacher Kathy is fighting the third advancement guy. Not us. Yunchen completely ignores the chatter. Let's move. We are almost there. Meanwhile, somewhere else, a city map is rolled out. A flat voice speaks up. The terrain investigation looks solid. It is a whole group of guys in black robes, and their boss starts barking orders. We completely lock down the elementary and middle schools. We strike tomorrow night. Watch closely, because this gets wild. One guy suddenly looks suspicious. Huh? And then they all start pointing fingers around the room. There is someone behind you. Total paranoia kicks in. What are you talking about? You are the one with someone behind you. One lackey finally realizes something is horribly wrong. Right on cue, blood splatters violently across the map, turning the paper pitch black. Boom. The wooden door gets smashed in by raw force, exploding into tiny splinters. One of Kathy's team yells from the hallway. Brother Yun, we are here to help. You ran way too fast for us. Let me buff you. The squad leader just freezes at the scene. Forget needing buffs. Yun Chen casually tosses a beaten enemy aside, leaving his squad speechless. All done. He simply wipes the grime off his face and walks right past them. Let's hit the next target. The ride there is absolutely chaotic. Stick with Brother Yun, and you are eating like kings for 3 days. They are kissing up to him like crazy. One holds an umbrella, while another quickly hands him a water bottle. Brother Yun, drink this. Sticking to the carry is all that matters. You tired? Need rest? Watching this circus from afar, Kathy feels totally helpless. This mission was literally designed to train the rookies. But since Yunchin practically soloed everything, the demon hunting squad is basically a picnic club now. Suddenly, her phone buzzes with crazy notifications. Clueless about the update, Kathy answers fast. Hello? What is going on? Understood. I will immediately request backup from another squad. The students instantly spin around. Miss Kathy, what is wrong? We literally have Brother Yun here. Why would we ever need backup? Is there some crazy boss? Kathy tries to calm them. It is fine, but this is not your average trouble. I know what you're thinking, easy win, right? Wrong. The next spot has 2 third advancement officers, including a high-ranking executive, hiding in this massive imposing castle. Corps Commander Tiger, this heavy-set guy in a full military uniform, steps outside to greet them. Speaking for the stationed troops here, thank you for coming. Yun Chen lowers his binoculars, giving the guy an absolute death glare. Even from way out here, that dark aura is suffocating. He does not hide his disgust. They are so arrogant, not even trying to hide it. And the local troops only just noticed the problem? Tiger nervously tries to explain himself. We actually noticed a while back, but because of the owner's elite status, nobody dared to investigate. If Advent was not so reckless, and the higher-ups had not commanded it, we would never target him. Suddenly, a new figure approaches with absolute disgust. You are the final defense line for the citizens, yet you are terrified of political status. You let the enemy stockpile their power and just blame your bosses. It is the 1st Battalion arriving for backup, led by the infamous Lu Mealing. She doesn't hold back her mockery at all. You absolute cowards. Kathy's squad is seriously impressed. Squad 1 is our backup? Unbelievable. A teammate whispers back. They are literally the strongest demon hunting squad out there, because they have Zhang University's top student. Everyone in the room recognizes her. Student Council President Lu Mealing. Yun Chen uses his scan skill on her. She is seriously strong, only a level 46 second advancement, but her pressure totally rivals Miss Kathy's 3rd advancement aura. Lu Mealing spots Yun Chen standing there and aggressively scans him right back. That junior is only level 26 and hasn't even changed jobs. Is he seriously the #1 freshman? The guy beside Lu Mealing sighs and complains. Yun Chen is supposed to be the absolute top seed of Zhang University's newest batch. Throwing him into a deadly demon hunt? You and I can agree that principal is just straight up ruthless. All right, stick with me. We're jumping straight into a massive raid. Tiger coughs to grab focus, saying he knows this manor inside and out. He offers to guide them in, but Lu Miaoling? She is not buying it for a second. Oh, really? She points dead at him, refusing to team up. She straight up accuses his defense corps of turning a blind eye to the dark cultists here. She bets he is taking massive bribes. Tiger completely panics, stammering out that she shouldn't slander people. Totally ignoring him, Miaoling whips out her phone and projects a hologram. Turns out, She scouted the manor beforehand. She grabbed serious intel, using a high-tier perception skill to map out the entire interior layout. The hologram flashes the castle's exact blueprint. She breaks it down besides the outer patrol. The main cultist swarm is hiding inside. Most of them are at the second advancement tier. Everyone listens closely. The back holds a teleportation point, guarded by 15 cultists, plus a third advancement tier commander. When the battle drops, that support point means trouble. So, Miao Ling drops a completely reckless plan. She wants the teachers to lead the main squad and draw aggro. Meanwhile, she will flank around the back and solo the teleport point directly. After that, they pincer the cultists and crush this place completely. Kathy's squad is completely stunned. Breaking in solo, their leader is an absolute beast, ready to one-on-one a third advancement powerhouse without even blinking. Plus, she scouted and mapped this whole strategy instantly. A true daughter of General Liu. Alright then, Miaoling walks off, looking like a total boss. If nobody has a better idea, she is leaving the front line to them while she smashes that support point. They watch her go. Damn, she is intense. Meanwhile, Tiger leads the remaining squad toward the castle. Kathy nods in agreement. Tiger picked a solid spot. Great visibility, and this high ground is basically the ultimate ambush location. Dropping long-range magic nukes from here means maximum damage with zero risk. Now, pay attention. This is where everything flips. Yun Chen senses danger. If this spot is so perfect, why is it completely unguarded? Plus, he is feeling a super heavy dark aura nearby. The second he thinks that, boom, a burst of twisted energy materializes right behind his back. Kathy stares at the black smoke swirling around them. What the hell? It is pure dark aura. The density is insane. No way this is from a small dimensional crack. Suddenly, Tiger morphs into a giant monstrosity, laughing like a complete psycho. He says he picked out this exact grave just for them. Cozy, right? He melts into black smoke like a snake shedding skin. Flash. A bat-winged demon bursts out, demanding these filthy humans kneel. The massive pressure instantly crushes the squad to the dirt. They scream as their gear corrodes, totally paralyzed. Kathy figures it out fast. Aura, this dense? Could it be? Yun Chen grits his teeth, sweating absolute bullets. He is a literal demon kin from the dark world. Tiger, now in full demon mode, blasts straight into the sky. A blood-red energy orb wraps around him, exploding dark aura everywhere. Kathy screams at Ellen to call for backup right now, but Ellen is panicking. She can't. The comms gear got completely corroded by the aura. The signal is dead. Kathy feels utterly helpless. Are they just gonna sit there and get butchered? Then it hits her. Wait, something is wrong. Tiger is only at the third advancement tier. Even if demon kin outclass humans, suppressing an entire squad with just aura? That shouldn't be physically possible. He has to be using a trick. Pinned to the ground, the squad curses him out. You scumbag. No wonder those cultists gathered here. The captain was a traitor this whole time. How could he betray his own kind? Tiger just stares down with an absolute sneer. His own kind? He asks if they honestly think they are worthy. He accepted his Dark Lord's grace ages ago. He purged his weak human blood and officially ascended to demonhood. He totally gloats as they writhe helplessly in the dirt. You and I both know our MC isn't staying down. Suddenly, Tiger twitches in shock. Wait, how is someone still moving? Yun Chen is standing dead tall. His body shifts straight into his epic Dark Knight form, weapon morphing into a sniper rifle locked right onto Tiger. He smirks. He can do a hell of a lot more than just move. He pulls the trigger, unleashing his deadly beginner skill, marksman's heart-piercing shot. It is a guaranteed hit. Tiger just crosses his arms, arrogantly tanking the bullet. He chuckles, completely ignoring the green flames, burning his skin. So, this is the legendary talent of the Dark Knight Empress. He can't believe he ran into this freelancer brat. What a lucky day. Tiger touches down and charges straight at Yun Chen. Time to learn why messing with a third advancement demon kin is a death wish. But mid-charge, bam, a massive fireball slams right into him. Tiger throws his head back and inhales deeply, charging up some massive, Toad-style shockwave attack. He unleashes a massive roar. The sonic waves from Demon Howl completely obliterate the fireball. Instantly, Yun Chen splits into two clones, flanking him using a beginner skill, Swordsman's Void Slash. Tiger scoffs. You hooked yet? Alright, stick with me here. Think cheap clone tricks work? He throws a massive punch straight at the slashing Yun Chen. Empty your bag of tricks. At my level, finding the real body is child's play. Fist meets sword, and raw energy just explodes on impact. Yun Chen gets completely overpowered, flying back and smashing into a boulder. But the other clone refuses to quit, launching an attack from behind. Beginner swordsman skill. Tiger swings his arm back, shattering the fake instantly. Just a weak clone from a level 20 scrub. Absolute trash. The grounded squad feels completely hopeless. Is this the real power of a third advancement? The stat gap is huge. It doesn't matter how amazing his beginner skills are. How can he even compete against high-tier abilities? Tiger just stands there, smirking. Hey kid, I thought you were supposed to be a real fighter. Bring it on. Yoon wipes blood from his lip, smirking right back. Tiger easily snatches a flying dagger out of the air. You can't even scratch me yet. Running your mouth about winning with this piece of junk? Suddenly, the dagger vanishes into thin air. Tiger blinks in confusion. Huh? It reappears right in front of his face. Cold sweat breaks out instantly. Yoon Chen is already rushing in fast with a spear. Thought you said I couldn't touch you. He triggers the beginner skill, Lancer's Charge. You better not try dodging now. Let's see what's harder, your face or my blade. Tiger leaps sideways, cursing loud. Damn it. He winces as the sharp blade grazes his cheek. He lands directly in an open clearing. He's pretty far from his starting position now. And then click. A heavy bear trap snaps shut on his leg. Tiger looks down, spotting thick vines sprouting up everywhere. Oh man, I'm screwed. Watch closely. This is where it gets brilliant. The goal wasn't damage. It was a trap. Did he figure it out? Yoon Chen vaults high. You might be tough, but you're just a third advancement demonkin. Definitely not a demon lord. How could you paralyze teachers at your own level, using just aura? That dark aura is rising up like it's completely alive. Normally, dark aura leaks from dimensional rifts, but yours is seeping up right from the ground itself. You obviously used a cheat code here. Yoon Chen kicks off the air, aiming his deadly spear at the formation's center. The only explanation? You buried an aura-enhancing artifact, right in this spot. An item that important? You'd protect it with your actual life. He slams his spear down, sending massive cracks, spider-webbing out from the heavy impact. Even tanking a direct hit, you wouldn't let me touch this spot. That's exactly how you gave away the secret. Maybe stop just pumping stats and actually start training your brain. From the shattered earth, a gorgeous purple gemstone emerges. But look closely, it's cracking, leaking pitch black gas, and blasting wild waves of purple energy everywhere. Tiger rips right through the vines, charging straight at him. You little bastard, I'm going to kill you. But mid-swing, he just freezes completely, bound tight by nature's whip and thunderlock. He's totally helpless, just running his mouth. Damn it. Let me go unless you want to die. Kathy and her pal are smirking like they just won the lottery. See how it feels to be paralyzed? You suckers? Now, it's an actually fair fight. Yoon Chen bolts off, shouting back, Hey, teach. You guys handle this mess here. I'm crashing the manor to deal with those dark cultists. Kathy waves, totally chipper. I know you're strong, kid. Just don't get yourself killed, okay? Creepy old castle. Bones are literally everywhere. You and I both love this part. Bam. An explosion rocks the creepy place, and familiar blue fire blasts right through the windows. Total panic mode inside. Enemy raid. Which blind idiot actually dares to torch our secret base? Yoon Chen stands there casually juggling a fireball, looking totally hyped. I just got my ass kicked earlier, and I am super salty about it. Mind being my punching bags for a bit? He charges right in, swinging his spear fast to clear out those creeps in black robes. Seeing him move like an absolute blur, the cultists start freaking out. No way. This kid is a monster. We can't even touch him. He's a freak. Where's our backup? Why aren't they here yet? One of the cultists screams in terror. If this keeps up, he's going to wipe us all out. Another desperate guy asks, Any other options? Then that guy looks up at the sky, starting a dark chant. Brothers, instead of letting him slaughter us, let's offer our lives to the Supreme Lord. He will avenge us. They all chant in unison. The Lord will avenge us. Massive deadly flames erupt right from where they stand. Yoon Chen finally realizes what's up. They're seriously sacrificing themselves. Just like that, total psychos. I've got to stop them fast. But they just get ripped to shreds instantly. Yoon Chen clicks his tongue. Damn, too late. With that many sacrifices, they're definitely summoning something nasty. But hey, at the end of the day, a sacrifice is just another skill. Yoon Chen readies his weapon. He figures he can interrupt it by spamming enough attacks. Suddenly, a terrifying blood-red abyss opens up. Dark art, the gator's sacrifice. Something horrible inside starts cracking and shifting. Then, a massive hand with wicked sharp claws just shoots out. Don't even think about coming out. Basic skill, Lancer's Charge. You'd think he'd be terrified, but Yun Chen just rams his spear right into it, completely unflinching. He's hyped. The dark spawn pulled back. Trust me, we're gonna love what happens next. Stick with me here. Closing a sacrifice portal is absolute hell. Yun Chen roars, violently stabbing the trembling claw. Smooth move. He instantly swaps his weapon for the storm axe, winds up for the ultimate finisher, and swings hard. Get back. Taking that massive hit, the gross hand completely retreats. The portal slams shut, and everything suddenly goes quiet. Yun Chen lets out a heavy breath. He actually stopped it. That dark spawn aura was totally insane. Definitely tier 3. He would be dead meat if it escaped. But while staring at the closed portal, a creepy voice echoes out. You are definitely toast. The sealed door suddenly violently rips open. A literal tier 3 dark spawn casually strolls right out. Right, little human brat. Yun Chen realizes he totally messed up. With that many sacrifices, why did he think there was only one door? Soloing a tier 3 dark spawn? Terrible idea. Quick lore drop for you in this world. Levels directly trigger class ascensions. Every single ascension grants massive stat boosts and completely overpowered new skills. Regular people hit their first ascension at level 10. That is tier 1. Level 30 is tier 2, 60 is 3, and 90 is tier 4. The higher the tier, the crazier the power gap. Yun Chen locks eyes with the beast. Human tier 3s are basically legendary VIPs with insane strength. Now, pay close attention here. This tier 3 dark spawn is way stronger than any human. Yun Chen holds his ground, tightly gripping his spear. Running is not an option. He only has 13 seconds of buff time left. He has to end this fast. Seeing him square up, the dark spawn literally laughs out loud. You are actually drawing your weapon? Does the Dark Knight Empress blessing give you that massive of an ego? Suddenly, 4 terrifying wings burst straight from his back. Maybe you do not get it. Your head is worth a massive fortune to the Demon Lord. But Yun Chen does not wait. Flash step. He completely vanishes, reappearing behind the spawn and slashing with maximum force. The blade is inches away, but the beast blind punches backward. Puny little human. You could not even scratch me. That punch totally shatters his attack, sending Yun Chen flying straight into the wall. He coughs up blood. The stats are way too high to block. While Yun Chen is completely dazed, the enemy lunges. Way too fast to flash step. A massive explosion hits. Smoke covers literally everything. You probably think he is dead meat, but he instantly swapped weapons. Phantom Terror. S-rank invincibility. The spawn is stunned. What? 0 damage? An immunity skill? Yun Chen completely ignores him, morphing his weapon into a sharp dagger. Now it is his turn. He aggressively thrusts the dagger straight at the monster's face, aiming right between the eyes. Going for the classic eye shot again, the demon roars furiously, slamming Yun Chen into the hard floor. You dirty little rat. He starts viciously stomping on him over and over. Take that, and that. Yun Chen curls up, just trying to perfectly tank the massive hits. His invincibility is running out, but his setup is complete. He glares up, his pitch-black eyes practically smoking with epic intensity. I know what you are thinking, but watch this. He suddenly blasts the demon back, and wait, he is holding a creepy straw doll. Told you, it is my turn now. He mocks the demon, dangling the doll. Looks like not even a hair could stop his sneaky dagger. Dead, silence drops. They just intensely stare at each other. Finally, the demon snaps out of it, looking at the smoking hole in his own chest. What is this? Why did I take my own damage? Yun Chen does not even answer, simply holding up the cursed voodoo doll. If the Descent cult is willing to be your pathetic lapdogs, a master like you must know where their headquarters is, right? Yun Chen coldly stares him down. Compared to the main army, the Descent cult is an absolute joke, but they hide in the annoying shadows. He has to find their nest and totally wipe them out. But the tier 3 darkspawn does not give a damn and recklessly charges. You want intel? Dream on. Even our dogs are completely loyal to the death. Yun Chen does not even bother reacting to that. He just gently snaps the tiny puppet hand. Is that so? Instantly, the demon's massive arm violently twists, right behind its back. The pure agony makes him lose total control, violently slamming into the ground away from Yun Chen. But he refused to quit, raising his one good arm at his opponent. Blood shadow chains. The demon screamed in absolute blinding fury. Die. But before those deadly chains could even touch him, Yun Chen effortlessly crushed the puppet in his hand. Still trying to fight back? Guess you demons still do not understand the situation here. The tier 3 spawn instantly crumpled, his body twisting in a completely grotesque way. Thick black blood spurted out, making the beast violently howl in pure despair. Even as his eyes glazed over, he kept running his loud mouth. "You brat. You might kill me now, but the Lord Demon King will absolutely never let you off." He stared dead at Yun Chen and insanely screamed, "Join us or die. Those are your only choices." But Yun Chen did not answer. The hand holding the broken puppet simply ignited with an eerie green flame. If they cannot make a deal, there is nothing left to discuss. The puppet in his hand was slowly swallowed by the hot, scorching fire, totally crumbling into dark ash. That same fire completely engulfed the demon, but he just laughed. And that is where we leave it: absolute madness. What happens next? Stick with me here. Humanity's darkest hour is finally hitting. The beast howls, summoning a pink orb straight from its head. Join their dark faction? Submitting to the dark world is your only survival. Even in death, I will never let you walk away from this. Boom. The pink orb blasts straight forward. Yun Chen just cannot react in time and takes the hit head on. You cannot escape. But seconds later, only the monster's bitter, dying whispers echo through the cave before it goes totally silent. Yun Chen breaks out in a freezing sweat. He grabs his neck, completely frustrated. Damn it, I let my guard down. I didn't expect a counterattack while it was literally dying. There is no pain on his neck, so it is clearly not a direct attack skill. Suddenly, a weird spiral mark surrounded by 3 dots burns slowly onto his skin. I have to ask Mr. Xia about what this means later. Staring down at the completely dead monster, Yun Chen mutters under his breath, "Without my cursed straw man, doing 0 damage was guaranteed, even at full strength." Securing this kill was entirely thanks to the Shimmer Dagger's insane power. The power gap is absolutely massive. It is not just raw stats. A Tier 3 fighter's abilities are on another level. Their active and passive moves scale with attribute points way faster than any beginner skill ever could. Think about it. 1 strength point in a basic attack might only deal 10 damage flat, but in an advanced move, it hits for 100. Same goes for speed and defense. This is exactly why jobless classes are considered dead ends. Exhausted, Yun Chen completely collapses onto a nearby rock. Upgrading skill rarity is great, but surviving a Tier 3 demon takes way more than raw stats. I desperately need heavy-hitting skills in my arsenal. Now, watch this closely. While he sits there gasping for air, a huge fireball shoots in from behind. Right before impact, Yun Chen turns. In that split second before detonation, Yun Chen forces a flash step. He barely dodges the blast and screams, "Who the hell goes there?" It is Tiger. He just appeared out of thin air, with one hand still glowing bright with a nasty pink aura. "Yun Chen, you have put me through absolute hell. It is finally time we settle this score once and for all." Annoyed and totally drained, Yun Chen glares at him. "Why the hell are you here? Where are the instructors?" Covered in nasty scratches, Tiger smirks back. "Oh, they are still alive." But then he drops a brutal truth bomb. "They are not doing much better than me." Cut to Kathy's squad. Things look awful. She sits in the dirt, uniform shredded, cursing loudly. "Damn it, we really let that bastard escape. We have gotten way too soft living that peaceful instructor life. Our combat instincts are rusty as hell, and the other squads are just as bad. Whatever happens now, at least nobody died. But who knows if Yun Chen is surviving out there. Wait a second, is Team 7 missing a member right now?" Hearing that, Kathy instantly figures it out. No way. Back at the cave, Yun Chen is choking for air while facing down Tiger. His entire body shakes from pure exhaustion. He cannot even breathe right. The situation is absolutely critical right now. He stacked way too many buffs during that last boss fight. Now that they wore off, the brutal side effects are hitting him like a truck. Yun Chen knows he is completely burnt out. Simply staying on his feet is taking everything he has left. "Even if I die here, my resurrection cross saves me. But I have to carve a piece out of him before I drop." "I know what you're thinking, game over, right?" Tiger sneers, watching his shaking arm. "Kid, you really dare to draw a weapon? Do you actually think you have a fighting chance? Fall to your knees, submit, and I just might let you live." A greedy glint flashes in the traitor's eyes. Dragging this kid into the dark faction would definitely score a massive bonus from the Demon King. But despite running on absolute zero, Yun Chen does not hesitate for a single second. He charges straight ahead. "Submit my ass." Tiger stands his ground, then, "Die." But suddenly, the sharp sound of someone slicing through the air echoes. A dark silhouette literally materializes in midair. And a split second later, boom. A foot slams directly into Tiger's neck before he can even blink. The insane force sends his massive body crashing headfirst into the solid rocks. Yun Chen stands there totally stunned, watching this blurry explosion of speed. Who the hell are you? It is the quiet girl from Kathy's squad. But her appearance is rapidly shifting. Mr. Yun, like it or not, you are our master's favorite student, so we came fully prepared. Her disguise drops, revealing Shia Yu smiling right at him. Did you think the master would ever let you face real danger alone? Shia Yu crosses her arms, perfectly shielding Yun Chen. Seeing her true face, it all finally clicks for Yun Chen. No wonder Mr. Shia forced me into Kathy's squad. It was literally because you were planted there. Shia Yu turns back with a super friendly smile. I was sent here on a secret investigation. Showing up as a succubus brings way too much heat, so hiding in this squad was just easier. Her team was obviously your best choice. Trust me, you and I are not ready for what happens next. Alright, stick with me here. Watch this dark world demon stagger to his feet, totally confused. His face is totally twisted in pure shock as he screams out, "You are a noble succubus. Why on earth would you reveal your true form just to side with humanity?" Hearing this, Xiao Yu suddenly lets out a giggle. Because my heart, my body, and everything I own belong to my master. And you chose to cross him and hurt his favorite student. Her eyes are absolutely shining, with nothing but pure adoration for her master. Boom. Xiao Yu sprouts her wings and shoots into the air, unleashing a deadly skill. Pay with your life. Knowing he is totally outmatched, the dark demon spreads his wings to run away. Damn it. But Xiao Yu is definitely not letting him escape. She screams out, "You are not getting away." Devil King armament, void chains. The chains shoot out, binding his limbs tight so he cannot move. He turns back, helplessly demanding answers. You are a demon lord. Why submit to a human? Xiao Yu just clenches her fists and shoots back. Isn't it obvious? Otherwise, who would give up being a supreme lord just to be a maid? Now watch this closely. She tightens those execution chains, and just like that, the dark demon gets absolutely wrecked. Seeing the enemy is toast, Xiao Yu lands. Yun Chen walks up from behind. Did you take them down? Blushing hard, she replies. At first, yeah. But after being with Master for so long, oops, I totally fell for him. That answer makes Yun Chen completely freeze. Better just stay quiet. Suddenly, Xiao Yu grabs his hand. Hey Yun, how did you beat that tier 3 elite? That was insane. I am totally crushing on you now. He just laughs. You really fall for everyone. Well, who asked me to be a succubus? Cat over. She summons these glowing black orbs to cover the two defeated demons, casually explaining her plan. These bodies are super useful, so I made sure to keep them intact. As they keep walking, she pipes up again. Lucky us. This manor has exactly what we need. I can help you use it right now, Yun. This definitely sparks his curiosity. Demon corpses have special uses? Like what? Her eyes light up with excitement as she whispers mysteriously. Sacrifice? Obviously. They walk up the stairs together, heading straight toward the altar. Yun Chen checks out the strange structure. This is the altar used to offer sacrifices and connect with gods. You and I know how wild this gets. God-tier potions and epic gear just from making sacrifices? Insane. Xiao Yu points and explains. If you want God-tier loot, you must sacrifice a demon lord. These tier 3 demons are not quite on that level, but they can still trade for some seriously awesome swag. That is why I kept them intact. Yun Chen looks confused, but this altar belongs to dark cultists. Shouldn't it be for sacrificing humans? Humans can use it too, she continues. It just depends on the type. The altar is simply a bridge straight to the gods. Sacrifice a human, it connects to the dark world god. But sacrifice a demon, and it links right to the human world god. Breaking it down, she gestures to him. Now, just stand in front of the altar, pray hard, and the god will answer. Yun Chen closes his eyes before the altar. He desperately needs a buff skill fitting a jobless class to fight tier 3 elites. If it is a god, they can absolutely make it happen. Praying hard, Yun Chen raises his hands in offering. Boom. A massive pillar of light shoots up from the altar. Answering his call, he shouts out, "Sacrifice." The altar hums to life, instantly absorbing both demon corpses. A fresh, insane wave of power floods his entire system. He snaps his eyes wide open. A system alert pops up. Rank A fusion technique. Free fusion for all kinds of crazy, unlimited variations. Warning. Fusion drains heavy mana and isn't guaranteed strong. If attributes don't match, it completely fails, and the resulting effect absolutely sucks. Feeling this insane new power, Yun Chen yells excitedly. Sick. Awesome. Even at rank A, for a jobless guy like me, this beats an S rank skill. Below the altar, Xiao Yu chirps, congrats on the sacrifice. Yun, I have a mission to finish, so I gotta bounce. Yun Chen smiles and says, cool, I want to head over and check the situation anyway. The president might seriously need some backup right now. Flash. Yun Chen materializes at the teleport station, surrounded by bodies. Suddenly, a familiar woman's voice rings out. It is the student council president. Looking down at him arrogantly, she sneers. Here to help? So what do you and I make of this? She stole the credit. And yeah, she is completely insane. Alright, you and I are diving into pure madness. She just solo wiped a massive cultist horde and smoked a tier 3 officer. Sitting there like an absolute queen, Lu Mioling stared down at Yun Chen. Her ice-cold gaze literally made him shiver. Not a single scratch on her. Terrifying, right? Anyway, cutting to the Weapon Academy Dean's office. Xiao Yu stood at the desk, reporting in. Master, the mission was a total success. I kept Yun safe, and he completed the sacrifice. His power levels are about to explode. Then she handed over a file. But we have some bad news. The Jianglin group has humans mutating into actual demon spawns. Plus, I grabbed some crucial intel from their manor. Sitting right across, Xiqing Chang grabbed the recon file. Reading it, her face twisted with pure shock and heavy rage. So, this is their next hit. Absolute garbage behavior. Meanwhile, over at Jiang University's crafting room, the vibe was totally chill. Muji Ashu quickly explained, my fault, man. The front lines got crazy intense, so they dragged me into logistics. Just walked in. Yun Chen just nodded. Hey, the front line is where the real heat is. I completely get it. He flashed a grin. So, how is that blueprint looking? The guy beamed with pride. Done and fully dusted. It matches your specs flawlessly. Pulling out his weapon, Yun Chen smirked. Nice. Can you reforge this phantom soul for me? Oh, and one more massive request. Watch this closely with me. He demands a diamond tier upgrade. The old guy's eyes literally bug out. Wait, diamond tier? Only top tier heirs from elite families use that crazy expensive gear. Do you even have enough credits for this? Yun Chen rubbed his chin. Should be plenty. After that insane demon hunt, I am sitting on roughly 100,000 credits. The old dude shrieked in pure panic. 100 grand? Kid, did you solo wipe the entire Jianglin base? Scratching his head, Yun Chen played it cool. Nah. Just bagged a huge bounty for slaughtering some tier 3 demon spawns. The guy was absolutely speechless. Tier 3 demons? Dude, do not say that like you were just butchering farm chickens. Still reeling, Mujiashu snatched the weapon. A second later, he slung it over his shoulder with a grin. Consider it done. Leave it all to me. 10 days, and you will get a shiny new phantom soul. Cut to 3 guys chatting outside. The dude on the left hyped up. Bro, you hear? The global championship is kicking off soon. Elite geniuses from every single country are rolling up. The right guy nodded, but the middle guy just scratched his face, totally lost. What does that even have to do with us? The first guy replied, I heard Jiangnan Uni wants to sweep the freshman tournament to officially represent the Xuanlong nation. That is massive news. The middle guy paused, thinking of a specific someone. Is that so? But for a tournament that huge, you and I both know freshmen have zero chance against seniors, right? Well, meanwhile, our boy Yun Chen is completely zoned in. He is dead focused, watching his weapon fuse with that glowing purple stone. Suddenly, a sharp hum signals the refinement is complete. Just like that, the limit-broken weapon flashes, showing off its killer new upgrade. Gripping it, Yun Chen is seriously impressed. That limit break stone from his system is no joke. Magic Array successfully upgraded to Platinum tier. Plus, he handed the extra Resurrection Cross to Yun Tang. That is some god-tier life insurance. While he is flexing his brand new weapon, the Bramble Beast happily pops up right behind him. Smiling, Yun Chen scoops her straight up. He dragged little Jing into his insane grinding session earlier. Because of that, her level is completely matched with his. Pair that with fusion tech, and she is an ultimate assist. Suddenly, a knock hits the door. He calls out, come in. Xiao Yu bursts through the door, rushing to tell him, Mr. Yun, the master needs you now. He quickly follows her back to the dean's office. 3 people are waiting inside. Xia Qingcheng crosses her arms, totally sizing him up. Not bad at all. That demon hunt catapulted you straight to level 30. Any normal student would be begging for their second job change right now. Yun Chen fires right back. Well, the experience points from a 3rd job demon are massive, but sadly, my second job change is completely blocked right now. As he says it, he pulls down his collar, exposing his neck. Teacher, Xia, I really need to ask about this. Revealing a weird circular mark, he explains, A demon branded my neck right before it died. I have absolutely no idea what it is. Seeing it, Xiao Yu screams in pure panic. The soul-chasing seal. It is a coordinate tracker. Once active, it aggressively locks on and hunts the target until someone drops dead. King Cheng immediately barks an order to Xiaoling. Hit the vault right now and grab the sacred elephant blubber. This is a red alert emergency. Xiaoling yells. Yes. And sprints out. Yun Chen repeats, completely horrified. Until death? Is there any way to remove this? Xiao Yu shakes her head. No, it is a rule-based skill. So what do you and I make of this? Unless a god steps in, no high priest can fix it. Xiang Shang suggests their only hope, begging the demon slaughter princess for help. Demon Duan Yi works under her, so she can easily remove that soul-chasing seal. Stick with me here. He asks where this slaughter princess is, and she drops the bomb, the dark world. Oh, and those 72 demon pillars? All literal demon lords. At your current level, absolute suicide mission. Yun Chen throws his hands up. Basically, zero chance. But suddenly, Xiaoling bursts in, handing over a wooden box. Master, the sea god elephant blubber. Qing Cheng demands it immediately and cracks the lid wide open. Lucky I hunted one down years ago. Smearing the thick ointment right onto his neck, she explains harvesting insanely rare materials from its corpse. This blubber easily hides the soul-chasing seal, but the clock is strictly ticking. Just a temporary band-aid. But sure enough, the second that ointment hits his skin, the cursed mark fades entirely. Done. She shoves the box into Yun Chen's hands. Take it. Apply this exactly once a day. Before this runs dry, you need a permanent cure. Yun Chen just stares at the box, her warning echoing heavy. Otherwise, his exact location gets broadcasted to the enemy. Endless assassins from the Descent Organization and the Dark World. The whole mess has him sweating. This looks incredibly bad. But Master Xia cuts right through his panic. Seal is handled for now. You've actually fought a demon, so what's your real take on them? Yun Chen doesn't hesitate. They're just like humans. She nods. Exactly. Too human. Some look completely identical to us. Just like Xiao Yu and Xiao Ling. Thinking of the two girls, she continues. Hide the dark aura. Stash the horns and tails. And nobody would ever suspect a thing. She pauses, picturing it, before dropping a heavy truth. Now, listen closely. If you cross the rift into the dark world, you'd realize the scenery is actually pure heaven. They keep breaking down the dark world facts, and Yun Chen just can't wrap his head around it. Teacher, Xia, that sounds absolutely wild. I always pictured the dark world as some fiery, nightmare purgatory. She explains, it has nightmare zones too. Just like our world has extreme wastelands. The real difference between our worlds is the mana density. Ours is pathetically low. She continues, when a dimensional rift opens, that hyperdense aura floods right into the weaker world, endlessly pouring out, corroding everything instantly. Plants melt, weak monsters go feral. You can practically see the destruction in her words. Over there, the air feels totally normal. It only burns us because our bodies are built for this weak world. Gorgeous scenery or not for humanity, it's pure hell. Finally, the brutal truth clicks in Yun Chen's mind. No wonder some humans gladly become attack dogs for demons, throwing away their pride and hating their own human bloodlines. Yun Chen mutters. They willingly purge their own souls just for some twisted evolution. So the dark world really is a completely higher tier. Gesturing toward her, he asks, then demons crossing over get nerfed too? Correct, she answers. But lately, their bodies are adapting faster and faster. Just look at how often wars break out now. Then she hard pivots. Way too early to talk about this with you. Right now, I need you for something huge. I didn't just send Xiao Yu to act as your bodyguard. We both knew a twist was coming, right? Master Xia drops the real mission. The global championship. Yun Chen is totally lost. Yeah, the students won't shut up about it. But isn't that strictly for third years? Hearing this, she fires back. Because third years are usually stronger. The spots simply go to the absolute strongest fighters. But our intel shows the Descent Organization is targeting the championship next. If I show up personally, they'll scatter. Pointing straight at him, she issues a hardcore command. You're entering that championship. You're going to shut down the Descent Organization. The order catches him completely off guard. Eyes wide. He stammers. Wait, what? Instantly, his system pings with a brand new achievement quest. Detecting host potential for the global championship. Now issuing a high-stakes achievement mission. Reward scale with your final ranking. Failure penalty? Absolutely zero. Yun Chen awkwardly scratches his cheek reading the screen. Guess he's got no choice but to enter. 5 days fly by, and boom, the global championship officially kicks off. Aside from Student Council President Luoling, holding a VIP guaranteed spot, every single competitor gets handpicked from the elite third years. The announcer's voice echoed loud, but suddenly cut off as bizarre debris rained down. Match 1 begins. Then boom, something violently smashes into the arena, shaking the entire stadium. The crowd panics. Then bam, another weapon crashes at light speed. Trust me, you'll want to see what happens next. All right, you and I are jumping right into the chaos. Dust everywhere, crowd going absolutely wild. Someone crashing the party? No joke. The smoke clears, and bam, Yun Chen is sitting right on his weapon, looking absolutely savage. He just smirks. Sorry, seniors, I am taking this spot. He stands tall, and the whole crowd totally loses their minds. The tension spikes instantly. Why is a freshman crashing this? Everyone is staring daggers at him. That crazy brat is Yun Chen. Sure, he is strong, but this is a junior year tournament. Suddenly, a freezing voice silences the whole mob. Lumio Ling steps up. Since when can only juniors compete? She does not recall any rule like that. If you have the raw power, you are in. The crowd is absolutely not buying it. They keep whining. Why is she defending him? We barely have enough spots for us juniors as it is. Why hand one over to some freshman? Her expression goes completely dark, voice cold as ice. It is one extra guy. Are you seriously scared you cannot beat a freshman? Oh, that completely triggered them. The massive mob rushes Yun Chen. She practically forced their hand. Time to fight. You want to step up, Yun Chen? Time to teach you a painful lesson. People in the stands are whispering. These idiots missed him in the demon hunting squad. That maniac farmed 100,000 points as Squad 7 boss. Someone is about to get absolutely wrecked. The mob literally fights over who gets the first hit. Watch me put him on a stretcher. But another guy interrupts. Screw that. Let's jump him. Pay attention here, because this is where it gets totally wild. The angry mob charges. Forget one-on-one. Mob him. Yun Chen effortlessly blocks their heavy attacks. Get lost. He faces the crazy crowd as they spam skills. Ice crystal dance. Spreading darkness. Crimson lightning. He stays totally chill, countering with demon flames erupting right from his bare hands. A massive fire dragon intercepts their ranged attacks, while Yun Chen goes full melee with his spear. How is a basic skill matching tier 2 attacks? His stats are insanely high. Normal juniors cannot touch him. Suddenly, a masked guy flies up, stealing the spotlight. Student Council is attacking. He points at Yun Chen. Ganging up is lame, but that is the price for challenging the whole school. Eat this, Earthbound Prison. A glowing hexagon lights up right under his feet, morphing into a giant cage, trapping him. He tries busting out with his knight skills, but no luck. Honestly though, he does not look worried. He is actually impressed. A legit tier 2 tower skill. The old me would be in trouble. This school is full of monsters. He smirks, waving his hand. A magic circle appears. Too bad I leveled up. The clueless mob just wants to beat him down. He is trapped. You cannot break that prison from inside. Not even with space skills. The glowing circle summons a girl made of vines. A crazy combo of contract summon and vine growth. She steps out holding deadly vine whips. You and I both see it. Xiao Jing is a level 30 platinum summon. The crowd loses it. Basic skills cannot summon platinum monsters. Wait, the quality got a temporary buff? I have never seen anything like that. Xiao Jing is totally hyped. Woo, I am huge now. From inside his cage, Yun Chen complains. Hey, stop them and bust me out. Xiao Jing does not hesitate. She unleashes her full power instantly. Seeds scatter. Thousands of seeds fly into the mob, bursting like literal raindrops. What skill is this? It does not even hurt. Then reality hits someone. Oh crap, plant monsters use parasitic skills. Yun Chen creates a giant vortex, water tomb and raging storm. He smirks. Natural growth is too slow. Let us speed this up. Rainfall. A massive downpour soaks and annoys everybody, but once water hits those seeds, they explode. Tiny vine girls pop right out, grabbing and tripping everybody. Screams everywhere. Get off me. Total chaos. With vine girls attacking heads, another gets his shirt yanked. Someone else gets their cheeks pinched and violently dragged away. Stop covering my eyes. I cannot see. Suddenly, thick roots wrap around the prison, completely shattering it. The ground buckles. To break Earthbound Prison, you just destroy the ground outside, and the skill totally fails. The cloaked guy watches from above. Interesting. Time to get serious. Suddenly, A voice startles him. Do you guys seriously have zero shame? Ganging up is pathetic enough, but a council member going all out? A guy steps up, demanding a one-on-one. Trust me, you and I will love this showdown. Let's dive right in. Meet Chang, Student Council Vice President, Level 42, Tier 2, Black Impermanence. The juniors literally scramble out of his way. The Vice President is fighting? I thought he opted out. Sure, he's Tier 2, but he tied a Tier 3 instructor. We're dead. Chang glances at the stands. President, you really dig this freelancer kid. Let's bet. I win. We go on a date. Luma instantly agrees. Deal, that is, if you win. Chang skips over to Yun Chen looking completely thrilled. You heard that? This date is giving me insane energy. Watch yourself. Then Yun Chen barks out an order. Xiao Jing. He's tough. You're useless here. Beat it. She agrees instantly. Chang smiles creepily and grips his weapon. Smart move. Keeping her around just wastes mana. Now the real fight starts. Yun Chen hits his battle stance. Perfect. Because I've got new toys to test out. Thick dust and smoke erupt, blinding them completely. Chang and Yun Chen face off. The referee does his usual intro. This match decides the slot for the Global Domination Tournament. Any objections? Chang laughs. Hell no. If even I can't beat this guy, nobody else stands a chance. The referee shouts. All right, fight. Instantly, Chang swings his stick. Watch closely now. He yells, he won't hold back, unleashing a massive dark aura that summons screaming vengeful spirits. These summoned ghosts are pure rage, violently screaming as they break loose. Hate. I hate. Who will pay for my life? I was framed. Surrounded by these spirits, Yun Chen realizes his stats are dropping hard from the debuffs. He raises his scepter high, and blinding holy light blasts the ghosts back. Luckily, this dark magic is easy to counter. Low-level priest skill, purification. As ghosts fade, Chang approaches. He charges right at Yun Chen, whipping his stick down aggressively. But Yun Chen perfectly blocks the critical hit just in time, using ghosts as a smokescreen. Predictable. But something else totally confuses him. What the hell? Chang's physical strength is weirdly weak, and the weapon feels like hollow wood. Not sharp. Zero weight. That attack wouldn't do any damage anyway, so why risk close combat? Suddenly, Chang strikes from the side, no spacing out during a fight. Before Yun Chen reacts, the stick violently smacks his elbow. His weapon drops, his face twists in pure agony, body violently shaking. It hurts like crazy. The sword stabs the arena floor. He desperately scrambles backward, but Chang stays right on top of him. Have another hit. Yun Chen grinds his teeth, quickly inspecting his body. His right arm is totally useless, practically gone, but there's zero physical damage. What's happening? Chang waves his weapon, looking ridiculously smug. You and I both know something's off. Chang brags his weapon is special, the exact key that unlocked his unique Black Impermanence class. When the game system and reality violently crashed together, a whole bunch of insane stuff happened. It birthed a few completely unique classes, the rarest existences ever. Unlocking them isn't just about meeting crazy strict conditions. Take this morning stick. I found it by total accident inside a tomb when I was just a kid. Thanks to it, everything changed. I busted my absolute hardest to switch to the Hidden Corpse Driver class, then successfully leveled up to Black Impermanence. It's been my weapon through every single fight. While holding it, I can see spirits. I can literally bypass physical flesh and strike your actual soul. Chang suddenly squints hard at Yun Chen. Your right arm is dead because your soul took a direct hit. The damage isn't permanent, though. It'll heal in an hour. But hey, Yun Chen, something about you really caught my eye. It genuinely looks like you have two souls inside you. Usually, that means split personalities. Is that your whole deal? Yun Chen pushes through the pain, holding his hand out. Split personality? I've never even noticed that before. If that's true, where did this second soul come from? His summoned sword instantly flies right back into his hand. Yun Chen stays totally calm. Looks like I'll have to snatch your weapon for answers. Huh? Chang flies into absolute rage, veins popping. Snatch my weapon? He screams like a total maniac. You absolute bastard, this weapon is mine. It's my everything. Even my parents can't touch it. And you think you can take it? Chang totally loses his mind. He charges Yun Chen like a madman. Get lost. I said, get the hell out. Yun Chen stands there, completely speechless. I just wanted to check it out. It's not like I wouldn't give it back. Why is this dude acting so insanely possessive? Chang slams down a pitch-black orb. Eat this. The swamp of vengeful souls spreads out like a toxic marsh. Freaky black arms shoot up, grabbing Yun Chen's legs tight. Suddenly, blinding light flashes, cutting through the dark like the morning sun. Yun Chen aggressively stabs his glowing sword into the ground, completely shattering the swamp's grip. Evil repel banishes the spirits. Honestly, we both feel his pain here. Another frustrating debuff. So annoying. Alright, stick with me here. Yun Chen's agility just took a massive hit, but he's still charging in, sword grip tight. Lower stats? Doesn't matter. He needs to end this fast. Wind crossing sword. Just a basic beginner level skill. Void slash. Ao Cheng blocks it with a sneer. Useless, right? Yun Chen just smirks. Not quite. Boom. A spirit-like copy flies right out of his body. It's the beginner assassin skill, doppelganger. Opposite him, Ao Cheng isn't backing down either, summoning a fierce specter. Both shadows violently clash mid-air. On the ground, the real Yun Chen and Ao Cheng trade heavy blows. Dripping sweat, he's totally losing this melee clash. These debuffs are totally dragging him down in a one-on-one fight. Suddenly, the enemy specter stretches its massive arm and completely smashes down. Yun Chen freezes as the dark shadow completely engulfs him. He gets blasted backward, and his doppelganger vanishes into thin air. Gaining the absolute upper hand, Ao Cheng wildly swings his morning star, summoning spirits, and a terrifying swamp of vengeful souls. Exhausted, Yun Chen watches helplessly as the dark swamp swallows him whole. Trapped inside a pitch-black cage, Ao Cheng laughs like a total maniac. Time to drop your stats to 0. Now, pay close attention here, because right when Ao Cheng thinks he's won, the impossible happens. The dark cage violently shatters from the inside out. Yun Chen's voice echoes out cold. If that's how we're playing, let's see what hits harder, your dirty debuffs or my ultimate buffs. Boom. Raw power explodes outward. Yun Chen stands inside a blinding pillar of divine light. Skill, fusion, all class base status fusion. As the blinding light fades, Yun Chen reveals his ultimate all-class form. Myriad Cycle. Seeing this crazy Myriad Cycle form, Ao Cheng is completely stunned, left entirely speechless. Just look at this. In this insane form, Yun Chen's energy is literally off the charts. No way he's getting pushed around anymore. The rank 1L specs are wild. Stats jump 500%, resistance 150%, damage 80%, duration 45 seconds. After that, a weakened state where stats plummet 99%. The crowd is absolutely losing their minds. What kind of broken skill is this? That buff is straight up terrifying. That's definitely a high-tier skill level. I thought freelancers were stuck using basic beginner moves. Even Yun Chen is shook by this crazy power. This is a high-tier state skill that only third job users possess. But damn, it instantly drained half his mana. Meanwhile, Ao Cheng is still stubbornly talking absolute trash. Completely useless. Doesn't matter how much you buff, I can strip it away in a second. Facing his ultimate debuff, Yun Chen fires back completely ice cold. You and I both know basic skills shouldn't be this strong, right? But he pops draw and slash, closing in with absolute godlike speed. With my current agility, dodging your trash is a piece of cake. Panicking, Ao Cheng quickly summons his bodyguard armor and processed sharp armor. But Yun Chen's upgraded power is no joke. That massive explosion blowing up the arena proved it. Ao Cheng somehow manages to block the heavy hit. Hidden behind his spirit form, he takes the chance to yap even more. Totally useless. High stats or not, you're still just a freelancer. Don't think basic skills can actually beat me. Yun Chen just smirked. Then, I won't use basic skills anymore. He instantly fuses the hero skill Void Slash with a swordsman launch skill to completely crush Ao Cheng. Sure enough, his weapon starts violently cracking. Yun Chen pours everything into a severing Void Slash, blasting the guy way back, but he is definitely not done showing off. He clenches his fist, violently fusing martial artist, ice punch, and strongman skills into one devastating full-power strike. Aiming dead center at Ao Cheng's gut, he unleashes a terrifying, sky-shattering ice punch. Unable to dodge, Ao Cheng gets launched at breakneck speed. It takes a second for the dust to settle before the shocked crowd can finally spot Ao Cheng. Coughing up blood, absolutely wrecked this time. The crowd watching the fight loses their minds all over again. Oh my god, what is that insane damage? Plus, nobody has even heard of half the skills he's using. Seriously, what is up with this overpowered kid? Yun Chen coldly walks over to the morning staff to confirm something. He steps right on it. A freezing shiver runs down his spine. He knows instantly. Yun Chen whispers to himself in pure shock. So, that's what that creepy feeling was. Ignoring his bleeding injuries, Ao Cheng hugs his broken weapon, bawling his eyes out. My weapon, Can it still be fixed? Yun Chen just walks up to him. You giving up? Or do we keep going? Ao Chang doesn't hesitate for a single second. I give up. I give up. Snot and tears pouring down his face as he completely begs. Please don't take my weapon. It belongs to me. It's my absolute everything. Standing under the cold rain, Yun Chen looks down and says in a low voice, I never planned to steal it. Besides, I don't need it anymore. Turns out, that familiar feeling was because he stepped on a chopped-off piece of the morning staff from earlier. He was holding a broken fragment of Ao Chang's weapon. So what do you and I take from this? Yun Chen can literally see human souls now. And trust me, what he sees in the mirror next is even weirder. Stick with me, you're about to see something wild. Most people have one soul thread, but Yun Chen's reflection showed a blurry second shape. 2 threads. One was his own, hooked right to his physical body, just like every other normal person in this world. But staring at that second thread, he noticed a crazy detail. This extra thread was completely bizarre. One end tied to him, but the other going straight up. Tapping the mirror quietly, a wild theory hit him. If he was guessing right, this thread actually belonged to his system. Wait, does the system actually have a life of its own? He clicked his tongue. Things just got messy. Meanwhile, Li Yaj gave Ye Anfu the latest report. We have the tournament roster, Principal Ye. He laughed out loud. That was fast. Taking a sip of hot tea, he asked calmly, I expected 2 days of fighting. Who made it? Li Yaj answered quickly. Lu Meng and Yun Chen. Hearing those names, Ye Anfu choked on his tea, completely losing his cool. What the heck? Isn't this for 3rd years? How did that kid get in? Liaj replied casually. Probably Xia Qingcheng's orders. I seriously doubt he planned to join on his own. The principal got dead serious. If it is that girl, she is scheming. This is definitely not just about some competition. Yin Fu knew a massive storm was brewing. He is afraid she is plotting something. Elsewhere, Xia Yu reported to Xia Qing, Master, Mr. Yun didn't let you down. He locked in his spot. The data predicted it, but this is just his starting line. The real hell begins now. She shifted focus. What about the military? How many fighters are they deploying? Xiao Yu gave a quick answer. The front lines are absolute chaos right now, so the military can only send minimum backup. Xiaoling chimed in with more intel. Each zone can afford maybe 20-second jobbers and 2 or 3 third jobbers. That was plenty for Shai Qingcheng to work with. Looks like we are going to have our hands full. A wicked, amused smile crossed her face. Over the next few days, Yun Chen hit his classes hard. He grinded out daily quests. His stats and skill proficiency absolutely skyrocketed. At the same time, over 500 nations wrapped up their brutal qualifiers and picked their champions. Everyone started moving toward the Holy Empire venue. But obviously, not everyone was coming just to play fair. Now, pay attention, here is where it gets dark. A shady guy smirked with his crew. The world felt true fear. A whole month later, Yun Chen finally checked in on Yun Tang. And wow, she was absolutely throwing a fit. She angrily pouted while helping him pack his bags. I barely survived the first semester. I just wanted to chill with you, but now you have to go fight. Yun Chen laughed, trying to calm his sister down. It is a special case, and I have a mission. Watching her cram stuff into his bag, he whispered, relax on the packing. This is a massive world-class tournament for crying out loud. They are going to provide all the basic gear anyway, but just look at you. The more I try to stop you, the more you pack. Look, if you hadn't already completely maxed out your inventory, I wouldn't need to drag this massive extra suitcase. Yunin sighed, explaining the harsh reality. You know you have to finish a class change to get more inventory space, right? Yours is tiny. Just your weapons take up half the slots. Yun Tang looked up. Brother, I am super curious. I heard the top-tier fighters have crazy storage limits. Like, they could literally fit an entire palace inside. Is that because they finished a ton of class changes? Yunchan rubbed his chin, dropping his voice as he guessed. Not exactly. I think they use a super rare material called spatial breathing soil. But hold on and I know that knock changes things. Yunchen answered right away. Come in. The door swung open, revealing Nico standing there looking totally nervous and shy. Want to go for a walk? The two strolled outside in complete silence. Nikiko sounded really down as she broke the news. I have to go back to the Silver Moon Forest for my second-class trial Moonlight Hunter. She comes all this way for a goodbye, and he just gives a blank stare? Nico totally lost her mind, scolding him. I am leaving. Your reaction is way too cold. We are not going to see each other for a long time. He honestly didn't look bothered at all. What is the big deal? Going home for the holidays is totally normal. right? What? Did you want me to throw a giant goodbye party? Nico was absolutely ready to blow up right now. You are so frustrating. She fumed, mentally screaming at herself. Why did I have to fall for this massive jerk? Pulling out a super rare necklace, Nico turned bright red and shoved it at him. Thanks for helping me this semester. You know, lending me credits. Just consider this a tiny thank you gift. Do not overthink it. It means nothing else. Classic, right? That is where we leave it today. At least he finally showed a little actual appreciation. Thanks. But why a necklace? He feels totally awkward. But get this, it is the nature's protection item. Highly rare. You and I both know this is huge. It represents elf friendship, adding +1 to all base stats. Whoever holds it gets crazy high elf affinity. And note, only someone carrying the elf queen's direct bloodline can actually gift it. Terrified Yun Chen might get the right idea. She instantly starts rambling in pure panic. Do not dare overthink this. It is just a normal necklace. It is absolutely, definitely not some kind of love token or anything. Take it as a challenge letter. Yeah, a challenge. Shoving the token over, she turns around and literally speed blitzes out of there. Way too scared to even look back. Taking this necklace means you accept my challenge. Just you wait. Once I finish my second-class change, I am coming straight back to completely settle the score. Since Yun Chen totally missed the item's true meaning, he just stands there completely speechless. Talk about intense competitive energy. Suddenly, Senior Lu Ming's voice chimes in from right behind him. Hey, Junior. She gives him a stern nudge. Time to move out. The two board the massive airship, heading to the gathering point at God tier speed. Inside, super stable and totally loaded with luxury amenities. They even have a personal guide waiting for them. Sunfei introduces himself with a super bright smile. I am Sunfei. It is an absolute honor to be your squad leader. Whatever you need, just ask. I will make it happen. Lu Ming takes a delicate sip of tea, coldly dismissing him. Fine. You can go handle your other business for now. Sunfei gives a quick, respectful bow. Understood. Then he carefully backs out, shutting the heavy door right behind him. Yun Chen jokes to Lu Ming that squad leader feels way more like an errand boy than an actual leader, right? She does not deny it. In fact, she confirms it immediately. You are not wrong. His literal job is just to serve us. With a seriously dignified look, she breaks it down. Most of these guides are at the third-class change level, but since our combat strength can already go toe-to-toe with third-class powerhouses, and our future potential is way higher, their attitude toward us is totally different from normal students. Ideally, they will even try sucking up to us. It is normal. Yun Chen lowers his voice. Damn, that is pragmatic. Ignoring his thoughtful look, Lu Ming cuts straight to the brutal truth. Power determines absolutely everything. Your status was bought with strength. Now here is the part you and I need to hear. Yun Chen finally asks his biggest question. Speaking of which, entrance exams, freshman tournament, national exchange, and now the huge global domination tournament. Don't you think there are way too many competitions, President? The front line is incredibly tense right now. Isn't holding all these matches a massive waste of resources? Lu Ming's voice hardens instantly as she explains. No, it is actually the exact opposite. It is precisely because the front line is unstable that we need competitions. This tournament is basically killing two birds with one stone. We have been fighting the dark world for ages. While current combat power is totally crucial, nurturing the next generation's strength is just as vital. And competition is the simplest, most effective way to distribute resources. Lu Ming breaks it down for him in detail. Actually, from the moment you took the entrance exam, you joined the resource war. Better university means far better resources. Your rivals are your peers. She lays it all out, so he sees the harsh reality. The freshman tournament was the exact same. The strong get more. The national exchange is a massive scramble between schools. Higher-ranked academies get way more state funding. The global domination tournament runs on the exact same principle. She calmly explains the brutal reality that school never taught him. There are tons of disputed territories and neutral zones worldwide. They are packed with massive dungeons and essential resources. Ignoring them is a complete waste, but taking them by force just triggers bloody human wars. The whole point of this global tournament is simply to decide who owns those specific areas. Can you believe this? She finally delivers the final verdict. The nation performing best is judged as having maximum potential, winning full rights to use those disputed territories and resource-rich neutral zones. This entire system is the bloody result of years of experience fighting the dark world. Yun Chen finally understands the dark conspiracy theories of the cultivator world. So that is how it is. Sinking deep into thought, he reflects on reality. Compared to triggering an actual war, this really is an incredibly smart way to settle disputes. Saves time, saves massive energy. Suddenly, Lu Ming cuts off his thoughts with an absolute bombshell. Right, once we arrive, we should go on our date. Yun Chen is barely paying attention, just mumbling a quick reply. Yeah, sure. But when his brain finally finishes buffering, he freezes completely solid. Huh? What date? She goes for the kill. Trust me, you and I need to see what happens next. Let's dive right back into the madness. Remember that bet our main character won? Well, the vice president is cashing in. Her prize? A date. Her logic felt super weird to Yun Chen. Sure, it sounded reasonable, but something just didn't sit right with him. Plus, he definitely didn't consider a date with her an actual reward. Hearing that blunt rejection, she completely froze. Huh? Dating her? Not a reward? Yun Chen just shrugged, shutting her down point blank. Hell no. But hey, if she was paying him to hang out, he'd consider it. Lu Moling actually got a massive kick out of his savage answer. She burst out laughing, totally amused. Interesting, little junior. You really are something else. I've seriously never met anyone like you. Then she instantly flipped the switch. Dead serious in a split second, completely dropping that playful vibe. Holding out her hand, she repeated the offer. Little junior, I am officially inviting. Will you take a walk with me? Yun Chen stood up, grabbing her hand and accepting without hesitation. Sure, he wanted to scout this foreign country anyway. Perfect chance for some intel. But just as the mood peaked, he ruined it. So, are you paying me? Lu Moling's voice went ice cold as she glared. Mention money one more time and I'm going to completely lose it. The Holy Empire totally lived up to the massive hype. The streets were absolutely packed with huge crowds. Instructor Sun enthusiastically led the way for Lu Moling and Yun Chen as they entered Seo City. Crowds streamed past, bathed in this crazy glowing light. It instantly sparked Yun Chen's curiosity. What's up with that gate? Instructor Sun was super quick to explain. Don't sweat it. It's just a passive effect from a divine artifact. He happily broke it down, explaining that the light completely strips away disguises, stealth skills, and any hidden status effects. Now, pay attention here. With this massive tournament, shady characters are absolutely trying to sneak in, so taking basic precautions is just standard procedure. Stretching his stiff muscles, Yun Chen sighed. Finally made it to the Holy Empire. That trip was exhausting, but the second they stepped through the gates, Lu Moling grabbed his hand and violently dragged him along. She beamed with excitement. Let's go. Our date starts right now. They strolled down the busy street together, happily taking in the gorgeous sights with ice cream in hand. She excitedly cheered. Truly the Holy Empire. Foreigners literally everywhere. Yun Chen just replied coldly. No kidding. We're literally abroad. Obviously there are foreigners here. Completely ignoring his attitude, she slapped his shoulder hard to shut him up. I already know that. I'm just trying to hype up the mood. Why are you being such a massive downer? This doesn't feel like a date at all. Those heavy slaps turned Yun Chen pale. Get close to this woman, and her crazy true colors instantly show. He thought she was the quiet, beautiful type. Nope. Insane foodie suits her way better. Oh wow, that looks delicious. After eating, she eagerly checked out the shops. That swimwear is so weird. Do people actually wear that stuff? I know what you're thinking, time to bail, right? Yun Chen totally agrees, making up an excuse to find Instructor Sunday. Truth was, he just thought she was way too much of a hassle. Better to just operate solo. No way she was letting him off that easy. Lu Moling quickly threw an arm around his shoulder, clamping down with serious force while shoving ice cream right into his mouth with her other hand. Instructor Sun is busy handling the check-in procedures. He doesn't care about you right now. Don't even think about running away. Just eat this ice spirit. Knowing escape was totally impossible, Yun Chen sucked it up. Fine, fine. Let's keep walking. But inside, his mind was racing with cold calculations. Forget it. Just ignore Lu Moling for now. I have much more important business to handle. He recalled Xiaoqing Chang's exact instructions. If this operation succeeds, 0 dark believers will be left in Xuanlong. Hand tightening into a fist, his determination was rock solid. For himself, and for Yun Tang's safety, he absolutely had to succeed today. Walking with Lu Moling, he pondered silently. The Descent organization's next major target is definitely this global championship. Best case scenario? I track down these dark believers before the tournament even starts. Killing them now saves massive trouble later. And speak of the devil, suddenly, the building right behind Yun Chen completely exploded. Black smoke billowed out. The crowd instantly panicked, screaming in absolute terror. A bomb. Get back. Is it a terrorist attack? But Yun Chen noticed something strange. There's a dark aura over there. Lu Moling instantly agreed. You sensed it too? This isn't a good sign at all. Suddenly, a figure flew right out of the smoke. Looks like the dark faction was hunting their prey, screaming their heads off in pure rage. Damn it, you're not getting away. A guy was hot on his heels, savagely shouting, You die today. Alir was running for his literal life, hollering for help, and that's where we leave it. Our guy steps in, slamming this dude into the wall so hard his face rearranges. Trust me, you'll want to see what happens next. Stick with me here. The rest of the gang instantly swarmed Yun Chen to save their buddy. Do these idiots have a death wish? Obviously. Lu Miaoling wiped the floor with them instantly. She stood there looking completely unbothered, mocking their weak sneak attack. Unleashing her foxtail, she coldly called them incredibly rude. The crowd was absolutely speechless. Whispering about how strong and young these foreign global championship participants looked, Yun Chen locked onto her weapon. A foxtail. Was she some kind of beastkin? No, that wasn't just a regular tail. Watching Lu Miaoling's tail sway back and forth, he thought to himself. Magic was definitely flowing through it, making her more yokai than beastkin. Meanwhile, the dark cultist he was choking started violently wheezing and screaming to be let go. Yun Chen's voice was pure ice. You showed up at the perfect time and saved me so much effort. I have a ton of questions. But right in the middle of this interrogation, the city police stormed in, yelling at them to freeze before arresting both. Fighting in the city was strictly banned. They were dragged to the station, while Yun Chen clicked his tongue. That response time was way too fast. They eventually got released, but the entire day was completely wasted. Absolutely brutal. His very first date was totally ruined, just like that. Yun Chen dropped his voice, turning to Lu Miaoing. It sucked that those three were confirmed as dark believers and handed over to the cops, totally out of their control now. Pivoting over to Elger, he stepped up to introduce himself simply. The name is Yun Chen. Pay attention here. We are from Xuanlong, but who are you? And why were those cultists hunting you down? Elger opened his mouth to answer, but his stomach completely betrayed him with a massive, embarrassing growl. Yun Chen sighed and suggested they grab some food first. The three of them quickly headed over to a nearby restaurant to fuel up. This guy ate like an absolute vacuum cleaner. He demolished plate after plate, stuffing his face for a solid chunk of time before finally finishing. Yun Chen just watched, genuinely impressed. How long had this dude been starving? Lu Miaoing sighed, heavily judging him. Looking at his ragged clothes, he was clearly from some tiny remote country where the economy was absolute trash, places where people literally ate dirt to survive. But despite eating like a bottomless pit, Elger still had some manners. He offered up his tiny stash of savings to pay, unsure if it was enough. Yun Chen just waved him off with a better deal. Nah, keep your money. You can pay for this meal with pure intel. Just spill absolutely everything you know. Elger's face completely lit up. He agreed instantly, calling him Bro Yun, and wasted 0 time spilling the tea. He revealed he was Elger from the Saladin Kingdom. He came to the Holy Empire to represent his country in the massive global tournament. His story exposed the dark cultists and their shady plot. He had barely been in town for a minute before that crew ambushed him. They planned to execute him and steal his identity to enter the tournament. But luckily, he was carrying a very special survival item. He blew his holding cell wide open and made a desperate run for it, bumping straight into them. Yun Chen just narrowed his eyes. Was that really it? Elger scratched his cheek, desperate to be useful. You and I definitely felt that twist coming, right? He casually dropped a massive bombshell. Those cultists had already swapped out other contestants, planning something huge. Lu Miaoling looked way more hyped than scared. To her, they were just low-level dark cultists. A bunch of rats using dirty tricks. Honestly, it was pretty bold. She actually wanted to see what twisted games these guys were trying to play. After milking the guy for every drop of info, they headed back to the assembly point. But Yun Chen remained incredibly skeptical. Something felt completely off. The whole day felt way too coincidental. Bumping into dark cultists and scoring major intel just like that? Way too easy. He looked straight at Lu Miaoling. Plus, Elger was ridiculously weak. Was he actually here to compete? Or was he playing some other angle? She nodded, totally vibing with his logic. She agreed entirely. Saladin was just some completely broke kingdom, sitting way out in the boonies. Flexing her massive knowledge, she broke it all down. They call themselves a kingdom, but their entire military power equals one average city in the Black Dragon Nation. They barely have any third awakening pros. He was probably just here to scrape up a low ranking, and drag some decent resources back home. Yun Chen slowly nodded. Was that really it? He had already made up his mind. The tournament started tomorrow, so a pre-game killing spree was completely off the table. Staring up at the bright moon, he felt a lingering uneasiness. They just had to wait and see what kind of stunt these guys would pull. Lu Miaoing threw him a sly smirk. By the way, Junior, she mentioned she never pegged him for the trendy, stylish type. Turns out, the makeup hiding the mark on his neck had completely worn off. A dark neck tattoo definitely did not match his usual vibe. Yun Chen touched the mark, stunned. The sea god's disguise had worn off. Did the city's powerful barrier actually wipe it clean? So what do you and I take from that wicked smile? His gears were turning. Trust me, this tournament just got incredibly interesting. The very next day, the Holy Empire's teleportation hall was absolutely packed. All right, you and I are jumping into the ultimate tournament arc. Yun Chen and Lu Meng strutted into the main hall like they owned it. Heads snapped their way. The crowd was tough. Sizing up the players, he analyzed them. Mostly hidden classes everywhere. Even rare classes were an absolute minority here. Literally zero normal classes. Yun Chen kept looking around. I guess that's exactly what you expect from the world's absolute top geniuses. Catching him, sizing everyone up, Lu Meng scolded him. Junior, judging someone's raw strength just by their class is a total rookie move. Don't be lazy. Look at yourself. You're a classless freelancer, but you're definitely not weaker than anyone here. A warrior fights by channeling stats, strength, energy, technique, and blade skills right through their core. Yeah, hidden classes get better base stats and crazy skill intensity compared to normal ones, but that is never the whole story. Race, bloodlines, pure talent, and how perfectly you sync with your class. That stuff matters way more. A normal warrior with perfect sync could totally wreck a hidden class. The lecture didn't bother him. He just smirked. My bad, I was being shallow. A sudden thought flashed through Yun Chen's mind. Pure stats do not tell the whole story. I know that better than anyone. Not wanting to wait at the entrance, they stepped fully inside, leaving the watching crowd absolutely stunned. Check it out. Players from the Black Dragon Nation. That girl? I heard she's General Lu's daughter, the nation's guardian. Definitely a top favorite to win. Some thirsty guys in the crowd couldn't look away, practically drooling over her stunning appearance. Damn, she is gorgeous. Like, absolutely, next level. But a smarter guy nearby snapped at them. Quit staring at her face. You absolute idiots. She's a battlefield monster. Do not cross her. Now watch closely. You and I are about to see the whispers shift to Yun Chen. Okay, but who is the brat next to her? I used my appraisal skill. He hasn't even class transferred yet. Probably just weak filler to make up numbers. For one of the 5 great nations, the Black Dragon Nation is seriously slacking off this year. The whispering was annoying enough, but then a massive loudmouth roared over the entire crowd. I told you, relying on trash from some backwater country. You think you deserve a spot in the global tournament? Kaguri, an absolute hulk of a man, violently shoved his way through the crowd. His sheer monstrous size had people literally shaking in their boots. He barked out a brutal threat. Do you all have a death wish? Keep talking, and I will crush your skulls after the match. His savage aura sparked immediate terrified whispers. That is Kaguri, the 3rd prince of the Behemoth Empire. He has the legendary Golden Behemoth bloodline. Damn it. Why is that violent psycho here? And he definitely wasn't bluffing. This guy had a dark history of torturing opponents to death. Once they realized exactly who Kaguri was, the weaker players started desperately begging for mercy. We are so sorry. Please, Your Highness, forgive us. We never should have dirtied your eyes with our presence. Elgar, standing directly in his path, was shaking like a leaf, just praying silently in his head. Please, do not look at me. Just pretend I am an ant. Walk away. Yun Chen watched them pathetically groveling to that absolute scumbag and frowned. Okay, that is a bit much, Lu Meng chimed in, equally unimpressed. Not every country is as ridiculously strong and peaceful as the Black Dragon Nation, the Behemoth Empire. They literally live for war. She pictured the brutal, bloody rule of the Behemoth Citadel. Plus, those smaller nations are incredibly weak. I know what you're thinking, but it's no exaggeration. If they take off Kaguri, he'd wipe them off the map, and nobody would try to stop him. Acting weak and sucking up is exactly how they survive. Dignity is just a luxury they simply cannot afford. Kaguri, completely shameless, puffed out his massive chest and looked down at the players groveling in the dirt. Aw, don't be so scared. I'm actually a very kind behemoth. I know you're here representing your countries, so I've decided to help you all out. I am going to give you a very sweet deal. He reached out with his massive, heavy hand and patted Elgar right on the head. Kaguri flashed a terrifyingly creepy smile that made Elgar shake uncontrollably. During this tournament, you will be my slave. Work for me, and I'll shower you with resources. Though Elgar was shaking in his boots, that psycho just kept spewing out his arrogant threats. With your total garbage skills, even if you somehow get lucky and make the second round, you won't get squat. So, how about I just pay you cash to work for me? What I blow in a single week is enough to run your whole pathetic country for a year. After dropping a heavy line like that, even the unwilling players had to treat him like a savior, ready to slave away for him. Yunchen watched him acting all high and mighty, and it seriously pissed him off. Kaguri definitely isn't going to keep his word. He will likely use them up and just toss them like garbage. She totally understood the brutal reality, but couldn't step in, so she just stood there pitying them. I mean, yeah, it's not like they even had a choice. Click-clack, a pair of high heels and slender legs strutted sharply across the floor as a bright female voice rang out. Mr. Kaguri, everyone here is proudly representing their own nation. Lucy, looking flawless in a princess dress, walked over to brutally roast him. Publicly forcing other proud contestants to act as your personal slaves, that is not a very good look. Her stunning entrance immediately got the whole crowd buzzing. She's the Holy Empire's contestant and literal princess. That's where we leave it, trust me. You're gonna want to see what happens next. Stick with me here. Lucy is no joke. She's repping one of the big 5 nations today. Her power? Absolute top tier. She is the undisputed favorite to win this whole tournament. Grab your popcorn. Kager just sat there, legs casually crossed, firing back with pure arrogance. Princess, you joking? I didn't force a single person. They totally volunteered. But Lucy knew exactly what kind of trash he was. Dead set on making him pay. Oh, really? She crouched right down in front of Elgar, staring him dead in the eyes. If he's bullying you, speak up. The Holy Empire doesn't let that kind of garbage slide. Now watch closely. Poor Elgar was trapped. Kager's threat was just way too heavy. Terrified, the kid stammered, completely breaking down and lying right through his teeth. I volunteered. Meanwhile, Lumioling just stood there, arms crossed, mocking the whole pathetic scene. She is so unbelievably fake, playing the perfect saint up on her high horse. Anyone with eyes knows they're terrified of retaliation. If she actually wanted to protect them, she'd just form a direct alliance with their weak nations. All talk, no action. Her pride insulted, Lucy marched straight up to Lumioling's face. Lumioling scoffed. Your little speeches are always so amusing. But seeing Lucy march up with that boss energy, she visibly cringed. Don't act like we're friends. But trust me, you and I know Lucy wasn't finished.